Hey, Jesse, come record the Drift ad.
Today's episode is brought to you in part by Drift Outfitters in downtown Toronto, Ontario. Drift Outfitters is your source for all things fly fishing. From waders and boots to thread and feathers, Drift has it all. Check in on their website for their latest updates and policies regarding shopping during the pandemic. Curbside pickup for your online and phone orders is a great way to get the gear that you need. And they're shipping for free across Canada on orders over $100. Visit driftoutfitters.com to learn more. driftoutfitters.com.
Hello, welcome to another episode of So Fly. It's what's the day today? August 15th.
August.
Oh my God, it's the 15th. We have a podcast out today. Today is Tim Pensloff from Spaco Reels. His episode just came out. But it doesn't matter because that's 15 days ago because this is the end now of September 1st. And we're back recording another podcast. My name is Mitch. We've got Yelma.
Hello.
And we've got Idis.
Hello.
The exact same inflection. And we've got Nick with us on this one.
What's up?
Hey, man. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I'm really excited that we're recording live together in person now.
I'm very excited.
Like we've never,
very, very excited.
Yeah, man. We had you on the show last summer. We talked about Nipigon with you and Matt.
Yeah, I think it was more like the fall.
It was the fallish kind of thing, yeah. But we were over Zoom, so this is the first time now we're recording in person.
Yeah, and I was just saying this is like a nicer setup. I can look at Yilma.
Oh my God! Hello,
Stare
Nick.
into his nice
We've been
eyes.
fishing together for the last 2 days.
Yilma and I have created a bond.
Yeah.
A strong bond.
Strong
It's good.
bond.
Well, everybody listen, we're recording on location right now. We're actually up in Brennan Harbour Resort, which is a fishing lodge up in Northern Ontario, near Spanish Ontario. So we are sitting in right now in cabin 2, I believe. We're in cabin 2. And yeah, it's like we've got an incredible view of the bay. It's windy, but it's beautiful. And yeah, this is pretty cool. Like I don't think we've actually ever recorded on location at this time of day, but the wind was just insane. So we kind of came off the water early, recorded a little podcast, and then we're going to go back out later. But how's everybody doing?
Good. What lake are we on, Mitch? This is a big lake.
Yeah, this would be the north shore of like Lake Huron, right? That's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
There's like Whales Back Channel, right? That's what it's called. Which is actually, we'll get into this, but our guide on this one is named Scott, and he actually owns Fly Mart, which is a fly fishing shop that many people are probably familiar with. They've been around a long time. He's our guide on this trip, and yeah, Whales Back. I didn't even know you've got a Whales Back box.
I have 2.
Yeah,
3. 3.
You have 3. Yeah.
I have 3.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, you brought it up, and he was like, "Oh man."
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
He's a super nice guy, and he's been awesome with us on the water today, and yeah, the fishing's been great all weekend. So why don't we just kind of start from the beginning and kind of just recap the trip, talk a little bit about the trip. What do you guys think of that?
I think that's a great idea.
We're drinking some Bush. We got some Bush going. What are you drinking, Nick?
no, sorry, I got something a little off brand here. So
What is it?
Oh, it's a wheat beer.
Oh,
Hey, I love wheat beers.
Dude, wheat beers are delicious.
What kind is it?
Oh man, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. It's a German wheat beer with a lot of
It's a
dots
Bavarian.
over vowels, and so I don't know how to pronounce these.
I like it.
Oh, that's.
Can I
pretty-
see it,
Is
Nick,
that actually
actually?
what
I have
it's
no
called?
idea. I didn't even
I
see
don't
it.
know, but
Oh.
Schneider.
after all
Schneider
the-
Weisse.
I needed to mix it up from the Bush beer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. No, fair enough. We've been drinking Bush all weekend. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to Bush.
Yeah, shout out to Bush. Please sponsor us. They are not a sponsor. We do love their beer.
We do.
It's, but there's not much to it. So I feel you. It's all good. It's all good.
It's very practical.
It's also
beer.
only 3:30 in the afternoon too, right
true,
now. So like a wheat beer right now felt right.
Well, we did.
Well, daylight savings.
You brought a nice bottle of scotch up, so we're going to be getting into that soon, too. I'll tell
Oh,
you
that Glen Morangi there, bud.
Yeah.
You almost been into it.
I've been
already.
in. It's almost done.
You've been into it. You've been into it very, very much, haven't you? Yeah, a little bit close to the mic there,
Oh,
Yellow.
sorry.
It's all good.
Kind of embarrassing. I can't look you guys in the eye.
All right, why don't we just jump into kind of a recap of this trip? How the heck did this whole thing even start? So we got invited to come fish up in Brennan Harbour Resort, and we said, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. August, like what are we going to be doing? Let's go fish smallmouth, big smallmouth, like Great Lakes smallmouth and walleye and pike and stuff like that. And yeah, it was a quick rip. you know, because we drove 5 hours up here. But did you guys you left from Barrie?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
didn't really hit traffic.
My in-laws are in Barrie, so
Yeah.
I left from their place.
Yeah, we should say it. Like Aldo's not on the strip. Aldo's up in Temagami at the Outfitter still. And before when we were playing the strip, we thought, it'd be really cool if bring Nick up. Nick's been on the podcast before. Like Nick, good angler, takes some great photos. So we said, you want to come? And you're like, what'd you say? You're like,
I said, I need to ask my wife. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you, Leanna, for letting me come. Actually, we left on my anniversary. So it was my 5-year wedding anniversary. And then I was like, sorry, I got to go fishing.
We were up drinking beer at Mohawk Motel.
We were, but she fully understands and was very supportive the whole time. So it was awesome. Thank you, Leanna. Shout out.
Shout out.
But
That's a
yeah,
good
and also
partner.
thank you, Aldo, for Aldo was busy. So.
Yeah, well, you know what? We probably would have just brought you too. Aldo's up fishing and working in Temagami right now. But it's too bad he's not here. Aldo, we miss you. But we'll see you soon. I guess September's coming up. We're gonna be going to Temagami.
Yeah, sooner than you know.
I know.
Really soon.
Yeah. Well, this episode comes out, we'll be basically in Temagami. So, but anyways, so yeah, we hit the road on Friday and sat in a bunch of traffic.
Yeah. Well, I think that's an important point, though, right? Like, this is like a perfect weekend destination. Like,
Perfect.
you're driving up the highway
Yeah.
on
5
Friday,
hours.
drive 5 hours,
5
and
hours.
then
Yeah.
it's an easy drive.
Yeah.
Easy,
Easy
beautiful drive.
Yeah.
It gets super beautiful on the Trans-Canada.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, you're going north on the 400, and you're turning left on the Trans-Canada, and you're almost there.
Yeah.
Beautiful drive. Like I haven't driven this way before, really.
Really?
No. Like this is up towards Sudbury, and then we
Yeah.
go west a little bit. And
Spanish.
I guess we've gone to like.
yeah, I've just never, I always
Yeah, I
go
know.
up towards like Timmins, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and then through Cochrane and all that. This is like rocky,
Yeah.
kind of, like very, very different looking Ontario, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
awesome Ontario. It's
Yeah, as
wicked
soon
up
as you
here.
like get to like Perry Sound,
Yeah.
that's like
Hit
beautiful-
Perry Sound.
beautiful Canadian shit.
Yeah.
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 So the drive was awesome after we got through all the friggin' construction near Barrie.
Shout out
Jesus.
to Barry.
Shout
out to the
400, my God.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job.
Oh, jeez, Louise, Papa Cheese. But you know what? Whatever. It was kind
You
of
love traffic.
it was nice to just be out of work and hitting the road early. Hey, Elma.
Yeah. It's funny. You and I don't work for the same company anymore, but we both went to bed at 2 a.m. with a shit ton of work
With
before.
different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. God. And then
Ace and I
Ilma.
were just hanging out drinking beer, so
Yeah,
it's okay.
definitely.
I know, man. Frig, eh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you came over and we hit the road and
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, we
Anyways.
got Wendy. We got, we started off with
We
nice
got Wendy's
and-
immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
Very important.
I actually got Wendy's too.
Yeah, what'd you get?
Yeah. Oh, what
Come
did I
on,
get?
man.
I was gonna get a Baconator.
What'd you get?
That's like if I'm gonna be like
Yeah.
celebrating something.
you're gonna
like a
do
fishing
it,
trip, I'm gonna
yeah.
get a Baconator. But no, I actually had a spicy chicken because I was
Oh,
thinking
number
like I don't
6.
know. There was a weird time that I passed through, so I was like I needed like a spicy chicken just to like make sure something was in the tank.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a spicy
Yeah.
chicken too.
Always a good order.
Always
Yes,
good
man.
order.
Number 6 combo.
You guys get sponsored by Wendy's?
I would fucking
Can you
love to be
imagine?
sponsored by Wendy's. I think so. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to support them in that way. You know what I mean? Fast food. I don't know. Like, it's very unsettling. Fast food.
I mean,
But-
we're open to burger sponsors for sure.
Oh yeah, for
Like,
sure.
we're
Yeah.
taking applications, you know.
Yeah. Maddie's Patties or something like
Ooh,
that.
Oh
there you
my
go.
God, Maddie's
There you
patties.
go.
Hit us
Maddie
up.
Matheson.
Now that would
Hey,
be cool.
Hey, have you guys tried Rosie's?
It'd be a pain in the butt though.
Oh.
Like, if they're the
I'll come back
sponsor.
to that.
If we head out on a fishing trip on like a Friday night, we drive down to Queen Street to grab burgers before.
And we can only eat
See,
burgers.
That's the thing, like spicy chicken on the road. Man, talk about like,
Good.
and you're on the way to go fishing.
That's
It's a pretty
perfect
good
recipe.
feeling. Like
Yeah.
that's a pretty good
Yeah,
feeling.
it makes your tum tum nice and
What were you saying,
happy.
I was saying Rosie's. It's a new burger joint that just opened up at Queen in Portland.
Oh yeah.
It's really good.
Oh man,
Fantastic.
Is it?
I think I've heard about that actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's totally good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it your favorite burger of all time?
No, 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 no,
None of those were words.
Yeah. Well. But yeah, we got up to Massey, Ontario, where we stayed at the Mohawk Motel,
Yeah.
and
It was comfy.
it was fun. That first night was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It was like good vibes, man. It was like sunny weather.
it's that anticipation of a fishing trip.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Got a couple
It was
pizzas.
good vibes. Everybody's happy.
Cracked a couple beers.
Couple pops.
Oh baby.
I did work.
Yeah, he almost working. That was weird.
Yeah, I'm a weird guy.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
figure it out. But no, it was fun. And then the next day we came and met Brennan Harbour for the first time. So this is when we pulled up to the lodge. What were you guys expecting? Like, Nick? What were you expecting when we were pulling in?
It's a good question. Well, I'd done a little bit of a deep dive on the internet, right? So I kind of knew the location at least. I'd say I was expecting like a small kind of like family run fishing camp, which it definitely is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There was like a really like positive vibe as soon as we rolled in that kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah.
You come in on like a quiet road, and there's not a lot of stuff around, and then all of a sudden we get there, and James, the owner, was there to meet us, and I wasn't expecting him to be Scottish.
Yeah.
That was interesting, right?
Yeah.
And our guide also was a Scotsman.
James, actually, I asked Scott. James is from Brighton.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And then,
okay.
Scott's from Aberdeen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this
whoa.
is cool. Like,
You've got the
and-
British flag going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And oh man, like big smiling faces meet you as soon as you get there,
Yeah.
and it was like it's a beautiful grounds, right? Like it's very well kept, and that was the first thing I noticed. I'm like, wow, they're doing a lot of maintenance on these grounds here, right?
Yeah.
And that shows like even once you see the cabins and once you see the boats, man, like
Oh, yeah. They're taking care of it. Like, everything's clean. Everything's, like, tight, kept, really well. And
Professional.
Yeah.
and you're right.
Yeah.
It was kind of, like, nice pulling up because, you never really know what we're to expect when we're pulling in to the fishing lodges. We're like, okay. But, yeah, James, man, he's, like, the nicest dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
he was so
He's, like,
Yeah.
he's so, like, just friendly.
Yeah.
He's such a friendly guy.
He's a great guy. Yeah.
And he was there to be like, hey, you're the SoFly guys. I'm not gonna do a British accent. You guys are from
Kind of did it. You kind of did it right
Kinda did it
there.
real there, eh? Down under. No, that's all right. But he was there to welcome us in and like show us introduce us to Scott. And the boats are cool, man.
Yeah,
'Cause
those
they're-
I really like them.
Nice boats.
what kind of boats we talk about here,
I think
baby?
we got a fleet of Lunds.
Yeah,
We
and
got some Lund
What's the-
outfitters.
Are they
Config.
17s or
I think they're probably like 17.
Yeah,
Yeah,
little-
they're pretty big.
Little 50 horse four-stroke on there.
little? That's
Tiller.
a big freaking motor
Yeah.
for that boat,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, tiller. So it's back operated, and so there's tons of room for fishing. The whole thing is just like basically a casting platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like that was the really interesting thing that I
Yeah.
found is that usually these like small camps like this in Northern Ontario, they're kind of geared towards like gear fishermen. So there's
Yeah.
like, like a chair for a larger
Yeah.
person to sit down on or something like that,
Little
right?
tin boats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have the seats removed, so like
Yeah.
for the flying anglers, man, like you can throw your line everywhere, and
nothing to
like
get
there's
caught on.
nothing to
Yeah.
get caught
Yeah,
on.
very nice.
Yulman gets caught on himself.
My feet.
Yeah, you're getting caught on your pants.
Yeah, my pants.
And he starts
yeah.
doing a weird
Jeez.
dance and stuff like that just to get his line off. But you
Yellow
know.
almost fell out of the boat a few times.
Yeah, it was rough.
Huh?
It was rough.
Was
oh,
it?
we've had some
Yeah.
wind.
Yeah. the waves
Yeah,
were
we've
rough.
had. We'll get into that because I know Nick, you dealt with it today. Oh my God, I'm sorry, but it's an experience. Puts chest on your hair. I'll tell you that right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah. I gave some hair in new places.
It was pretty freaking windy, but the boats are dope. Like they're
Yeah.
very nice configs.
Yeah.
I like they're like just casting platforms. The whole thing.
Yeah, it's great.
Tons of storage. 50
This-
horses, perfect.
And 50 horses, perfect.
Perfect.
And one of the things that often happens with flying anglers, right, is like, trying to balance two guys casting, man. I think you guys had three guys casting out of the boat
Yeah,
at one point.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
There's lots of room, and the motors are absolutely perfect for this because it's a big water.
Yeah, that's some big water.
Scott was
once,
like-
once you get out of the bay,
Going, yeah,
like it's pretty big.
yeah, you're going.
Yeah.
So it was quite the boats, but yeah, man, like oh my God, like I'll just talk about going out on the wind last night. Was it last night? Yesterday afternoon?
Last night,
man,
yesterday afternoon, every time we've gone out.
Yeah, it's true actually. So this is a very windy place. Obviously, we're on like a Great Lakes.
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
is like
It's
it's
windy.
It's
basically
Lake
like an
Lake
ocean.
Huron.
Yeah, it's Lake Huron. Like it's basically like a friggin' ocean. Like you're just like out there with nothing around, and just the swells were like they were big, man. Like they were like 3 foot swells.
Yeah, they got
4 foot swells. Like
yeah.
and they were maybe bigger.
Today, some of them I think were bigger than that.
They were pretty big.
Those are
Yeah.
They're
those are
intimidating.
big
They're
swells.
I know
intimidating.
Yummo was like cool and calm as a cucumber
Yeah,
the
he
whole
was
time.
dri-
I was
was
very
he driving
surprised. I guess I was driving, so it was up to me to
Yeah.
get us there alive.
He doesn't know what's going on.
No,
I know. And he's like, I can swim. I'm like, yeah, but like, what happens with all the
Did he
stuff in
say
the
I
boat?
can swim?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yama, you can't swim. What's your plan? You crash out in the middle of Lake Huron. You're gonna swim to shore?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You would die so fast.
for sure die.
You'd get like a muscle cramp and you'd just be like, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm a human.
Yeah.
I forgot I'm a
Like
human.
I have to pee.
No, man, it's scary, man.
It is
I was
scary.
freaked out because I don't know about you guys. I'm not a big boat guy. Like, I'm not driving boats all the time on Great Lakes. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no, that was definitely. I haven't driven a boat in a long time, so
And we had I don't know
like
what
cameras?
$30,000 of camera gear on the
Yeah,
boat.
something like that.
wow.
And there's like water spraying. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, Jesus.
we hit it all up
Hit
in the
it all
bow.
in like the live well sort of
Yeah,
areas.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
man.
banging around. Wrap all the jackets and
Yeah.
everything all around there, and
But once you figure out how to kind of surf them,
Yeah,
It's
kind of fun.
It's all about the angle that you take the wave on, right? Like
for sure.
today was a little bit insane because just the way the waves were coming in and where we had to go, especially like coming back. We were trying to get back.
yeah, that was
There was no easy way to
No.
take those
No.
waves, and like you could kind of go out and then surf them a bit, but like then you're zigzagging a lot and it's taking forever.
And you get like the waves
Yeah.
mixed with just chop,
Yeah.
which just comes from wherever it wants.
man, we were going up and down on some waves, and I was looking back a lot. I was like, I do not want to kill Nick and Yilma right now, man.
No, we were fine.
I do not want to see those guys. Hey, Yilma.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't at the point where I was like thinking it was going to be
you
that
just go
bad.
slow. Yeah, you
Yeah,
just
I
go
was just
slow.
like, if it takes me extra time, it takes extra
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Yeah.
No, but yeah, very windy, and it's mostly just unpleasant to fish in because we're fly fishing and you can't really fish in swells. So, anyways, interesting in that regard. But the thing with this region is the amount of islands, bays, and inlets.
Well,
So
and that's
many.
just it.
Yeah,
Like when you're fishing,
Yeah.
you're not fishing in those swells, right?
No.
You're fishing in the
Yeah.
little bays
Exactly.
and behind islands and things like that.
tucking into places.
And I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's an endless amount of places to fish.
Oh, for sure. Every time we've gone out, it's just kind of like, oh, what about that little bay there?
Yeah.
What about that little cove?
You could spend like 1,000 years here.
Well, today,
Yeah.
Like-
Scott said like that one spot you guys got that nice fish. He's
Yeah.
like, no, that's a new spot.
Yeah.
The spot with the little
Yeah.
bridge there and the
Yeah.
old poles. He's like, well, I'm coming back here. This is a nice spot.
Yeah,
And they're everywhere.
Yeah.
they're everywhere. Even just looking out this window right now, I'm looking at the bay. Look at those weeds.
Yeah.
We haven't even fished here yet.
Let's
It's
go
right there.
What are we doing? Let's go fish.
Well, that's where we're going to be after this. We're gonna go try to fish for
All right.
muskie
All right.
because there's muskie in the
Yeah,
bay.
what did James say?
He said put a big fly on,
Yeah.
go out into the middle of this bay, and just kind of zigzag, do a little grid boating and drifting, and cover water and just toss big flies because this whole thing is cabbage.
Yeah.
This whole thing.
Yeah.
And you know it lives in cabbage.
Oh my God,
Fish.
musk,
Cabbage
muskie,
dragons.
cabbage dragons, I like cabbage dragons,
Yeah. Cabbage dragon.
and bass and
Yeah.
pike.
And pike.
So yeah, like we literally don't have to even go,
No.
but we were exploring and Scott wanted to show us cool scenery stuff, and the scenery is amazing.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so like, I think we were talking about this on the boat. It's so Ontario.
Yeah.
It's so like Northern Ontario, the Canadian Shield, like
Yeah.
the windswept trees,
Yeah.
rolling granite.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, like really rocky, cliffy islands, and
Yeah.
you're like like those pines that are just like
Yeah.
Well, what did
gnarled and
Scott gave it a name. I mean, he said it was the Northern Ontario version of Coast. And
Oh, that's a very specific area that we went through.
Yeah.
So you guys were in the other boat, but
yeah.
there are these like rocky outcroppings.
Yeah.
And basically he's like, "You boys ever been to Vietnam?" And I was like, "No."
No.
And he's like, "Well, we call this the Ha Long Bay of the North." So essentially, like Ha Long Bay is this area, this like huge limestone like cliffs and stuff like that are
Oh.
poking out. It's one of the wonders of the world, or
Oh, cool.
one of those like ones that they kind of make the wonders
Yeah,
of the
like a
world, but they're not
natural-
quite the wonder of the world,
Yeah.
or something like that. And he calls it the Ha Long Bay of the North. So if anyone's ever been to Vietnam, they know what I'm talking about.
Popular rock climbing destination.
Is it? Yeah. Did you go?
And it's because because where we're going had those kind of like rocky
Yeah,
abutments.
it's like essentially like Canadian Shield just like popping up.
Oh, cool.
Definitely
through
where-
all these islands.
Definitely where James Cameron got his inspiration for Avatar and
Yeah,
that part.
yeah.
From this bay?
No,
No,
from
How Long
from
Bay.
How Long
How
Bay.
Long
Oh.
Bay. Yeah, my wife's been there. I've seen a lot of nice photos of it. It's a beautiful place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And did it remind you of this?
Yeah, man, it's like these huge cliffs. Yeah, I don't know if they're quite as tall as the ones in How Long
Sure,
Bay,
yeah.
but like, yeah, it's certainly an interesting sight.
Cool. Freak.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like the scenery is just insane. Like it is really neat. Like it's kind of partially why like I personally was excited to come up here because it was like big water, aggressive water, big waves,
Different landscape than what we've been doing.
Yeah, like a harsh landscape with rock and wind. And I was like, that's fun. Let's go do that and fish bass. Like that's cool.
Yeah, like we're gonna fish bass regardless of where we are.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah. But these bass,
this is different bass.
These
It's
bass
different
are-
fishing. I think it's important to
It's
highlight.
different
this is
bass.
a different kind of
Yeah.
fishing.
it is different.
It
kind
really
of fishing.
is.
How is it different to what you're
okay,
used to?
so, well, typically for me, bass it means like in the lily pads with poppers. That's like maybe bass fishing. I don't know, in a nutshell for a lot of back lakes and things like that. Also like river bass, like
Yeah.
throwing some crayfish patterns in the rivers and stuff like that, and catching bass is very, I love that.
Yeah.
This is like full contact bass fishing with full sink lines. Like I brought a Type 9 line.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know why I ever bought a Type 9 line, to be honest with you.
No, you do.
I've been throwing that thing.
This
like
is all
crazy
you need
man.
here,
Yeah,
yeah.
like the drop offs are intense.
Well,
Like,
the one we fished today
yeah,
goes from like 5'8" to like 50 feet.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Like a
Exactly.
wall.
exactly.
It's an underwater wall.
Yep,
It's a wall.
Exactly, it's a wall, and like, I mean, you're fishing out of a boat and stuff too, so you're getting pushed around a little bit. Like
Yeah, yeah.
any extra sink rate you can get is like very helpful, right?
Oh yeah.
And you're not throwing those like little tiny crayfish flies, crawling them along the bottom. We're throwing like big minnow patterns.
Yeah.
These bass are
bait.
not small.
No.
Not small at all.
No.
Yeah, they're rowdy.
Average bass we were catching were like, I'd say like 2 pounds.
Yeah. Well, I think that's most
Yeah.
places, like that's probably pretty good average.
Yeah.
But what we saw
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
is a different story.
That's the thing. So like, I mean, I think if conditions were perfect and we were here for like a week
Yeah.
and we were fishing like the right hours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
The
the
average should
average
be
fish
5
would go
pounds.
from 2 to like 4
Oh,
pretty
for
quickly.
sure.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like you get talking to Scott,
Yeah.
and like it's clear that like he's obsessed with smallmouth. Like he was saying, he's like, I think maybe I should stop obsessing about smallmouth because they're driving me crazy. Like, like a lot of anglers get about like big brown trout and
Yeah.
like or your steelhead and like these other game fish.
Yeah.
Like our guide is like that with the smallmouth bass
Yeah.
around here, and he's talking about moon phases and like
Yeah.
lighting conditions and everything, and just like
Like
trying to
serious stuff.
factor all the statistics into what makes a good day fishing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he's dialed into. The
I'm
smallmouth.
all about it, man.
Yeah.
Especially the thing with this area is like that is a fun. You can see yourself becoming pretty obsessed.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's like the place to fish is very like it's exciting, and like we said, there's so much water. I can see myself, and the bass are big. Like so, can we talk about that bass you saw yesterday?
Oh, I'd love to talk about that.
Yeah.
bass.
So okay, let me go back to yesterday a little bit because Nick, you're a very experienced angler. When you see a big fish and you say you saw a big fish, I believe you saw a big fish. And so we were fishing yesterday. And we had a great day. We caught a bunch of smallmouth bass, a bunch of pike, had a ton of fun, cruising around. And then where were we? And there was like a very special moment.
Yeah, it was cool, man.
Was it the end of the day?
There's a couple really cool moments yesterday,
Yeah.
like that are kind of along the same line. So
Yeah.
our guide Scott, I spent the day with Scott yesterday with Yoma.
Yeah.
And then you guys were with him today.
Yeah.
And so we were fishing these like really like the wind was pounding these like rocky shoals and these little rocky islands that were popping up kind of in the wind a little bit. And so pushing the bait up close. And Scott was explaining that the really big bass here, like they're very bait fish oriented.
Yes.
So not a bad idea to throw large bait fish patterns.
Yeah.
So that's what we were throwing, and we're throwing some larger flies really than like kind of you'd think about for bass. Like I was using the pike flies that time for Nibbigan.
So like rabbity strip stuff or what?
These are like I don't know. Matt showed me the pattern. It was like a craft fur minnow.
Okay, yeah,
basically,
yeah,
where like it's basically a deceiver with a craft fur head.
Gotcha.
But they ain't small. They like 6 inches long or something like that.
That's big
So
fly.
yeah, I was throwing those, and then Scott was explaining that like sometimes you want to like go down in size because you're gonna get the bass to actually eat the fly as opposed to just like trying to chase it down and kind of aggressively take it, right?
Yeah.
So that happened a few times where like a big bass came up to like inspect the lure or the bait,
the bait.
fly. And we had that happen.
yeah.
Well, man, it happened to you. It happened to me a few times, and then yesterday
With the bigger flies.
With the bigger fly. Yeah.
and then yesterday, we were fishing this one island, and it was like a steep drop off right off the island. And
Yeah.
honestly, like I couldn't even imagine that a bass could get this big, came up to like have a look at the fly. He never took the fly, so it's of course this story that doesn't have a happy ending.
I know, but
But the thing, like I
Your
I
heart
didn't even
stopped.
know bass could get that big.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
I heard you say like big bass.
It's the biggest
and, like,
bass I've ever seen in my life. And
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
even at the end of the day, like we were like tried a bunch of other places. I was like, we need to go back there.
I know, man. Like, yeah, and Scott was like, maybe we should go.
Like,
we
you
did
guys
go
don't
back.
understand how big that bass was. It was like, oh my god, it was like a cutting board in the water, like how fat it was.
Oh my
like,
Yeah.
God, man.
yeah,
Like, oh man, like
Tiger
oh,
stripey.
man. I don't know. That's that's the thing right there, right?
Well, Scott's got stories of like 7-8 pounders. So like, man,
that
I think
sounds
it
like
was one of
maybe
those.
you saw
I think
like
it was
a
one of
7-8
those.
pounder. That's
Yeah, you know, but not a happy ending. I mean, but man,
Hey, we got to see it.
to see those things
Give us
and
confidence.
to know, like, this is
To
world
know
record water,
confidence.
man. This
Yeah.
is Lake Huron. Like,
You're right.
You're on the potential for record breaking.
Well, that's what we were talking about this morning. The world record smallmouth is
Yeah.
11 pounds, caught in Kentucky.
Yeah,
And but like you saw that fish.
it was.
We see this water. We see the fish we're catching. They're not necessarily like we've caught smallmouth. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Consistently.
Oh yeah.
There's places you can go for that.
Yep.
This place is like they're beefier. Like they're
Yeah.
well fed
Yeah.
and they have the potential to get big and old because there's so much water.
We've caught more
This is
larger
cra-
smallmouth than small.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Yeah. and
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You look out there, you're like, how many fish are uncaught, unseen? This is record water. You're
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
It's 100% record water.
Well, and you know what they're doing. So again, this is coming from our guide. Is
Yeah.
they're sitting in like 40 feet of water, and then they're moving up onto these shoals to feed, right? And so there's so many sections of this area that is like 40 feet of water. The
Yeah.
food source is there. The structure is there. Like the vastness is
Yeah.
insane. Like how many giant smallmouth are out there?
Did you see the minnow cloud today at the bridge?
No, because you guys were there before we got
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, there was a lot.
I've never seen a
It was-
bait cloud like that.
Yeah.
I was
Wow.
like the bait fish. It was like literally like thousands.
Yeah.
Moving around in that creek in that little
It
stream.
was like
we're in.
little
Yeah.
2-inch minnows.
I was
just,
like, what? Like
they're
all
big,
shiners.
so-
They're
yeah.
all shiners.
They're all
Those-
shiners. So yeah, a lot of the flies I noticed the guys tying are like
Shiners,
they're
man.
shiners, man.
like
Yeah.
like prime.
Yeah, we'll
you
get to
know?
the fly thing, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, you saw that fish, and it was like when you said that, I was like, oh.
Well, I screamed it
shit.
to you. You guys were like
Yeah.
pretty far. And I
You
was-
screamed
I
it,
was
and-
hollering.
but I could see the fear in your eyes
the
from where I
urgency.
was. Like I could see you being like, "Oh, I see what's
It's
going on
on.
here.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is pretty legit. What's going on?" Because we had spent the day catching nice bass, whatever,
Yeah.
2
Yeah,
pounds,
yeah.
fun, whatever. Oh yeah, I've been doing this. But then when you saw that fish, it was like, oh,
Now
Well, I was
now
definitely
we're
rattled.
fishing.
I was definitely rattled. It like it reached
Because
a
it
new
came
level
up.
of intensity at that point.
because it
Yeah,
came
I
up.
know.
So quick side thing: the big fly. Do you think that fish would have followed if it was a small fly? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, so
It's hard
so
to tell.
Scott was saying that like he might have taken it if it was a smaller fly.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if he would have come up for it. Who
That's
knows?
what I
Dude,
mean,
that's
like-
a question that like
It's gotta
that
be,
only
like,
the universe
only
knows.
the
Yeah.
fish can answer that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the big fly, it's like, yeah, maybe he was
Yeah.
following because he's like, what's this thing doing here? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But
So
then
I'd be
say if
curious
it's
to
a small
know.
fly, if you feed it to them,
The only way to know is when you catch
There
that
you go.
fish, a 7-pound
true.
fish on
That's
a small
true.
fly, and then it's like, okay. Which Scott said you can do that. So, anyways.
Yeah, my own philosophy is to like the big flies are cool and all, and it's
Yeah.
fun to see them chase. But I like to throw something like
Yep.
a little bit more natural to them.
Well,
And you know what? Like even that was what the guide was saying, and we did that today. So
Yeah.
we'll get into that a bit later. But
no, I'm totally with you. Like Idis was throwing yesterday, like you put on a fly,
oh yeah,
Johnny,
John Giuliani.
John Giuliani, our 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, shout out John Giuliani.
He gave you this fly, to
Little
Fish
deceiver,
Atlantics.
yeah.
Did you see it?
I've seen John Giuliani's flies. I've had the pleasure of meeting him, and
Yeah.
he gave Matt and I some flies when we were
Yeah.
on the.
Were they little? Were they
They're very-
small?
yeah, they are
Yeah.
small. Yeah.
Yeah, I caught
Like
with
small, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They're
big,
not-
big hook.
You
but
threw
like,
that out here?
Yeah, yeah, and I got
We got some fish on it.
Yeah,
I feel like you shouldn't fish John's flies. You should
Ah,
save
right,
them. You
true.
should save them. That's like a
Yeah.
famous angler.
Well,
So
John, if
I-
you're listening, man, like we've
I need some more, John. I need more.
Bass we're following.
I'm gonna text you my
Sparse,
address.
Very sparse, not a
Yeah.
lot of material.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Small,
shiny.
but in the water, I was like, it looks like a minnow.
Yeah,
Cool.
It looks like a minnow.
So when we were out with Jeff Jackson as well, and I
real.
fished that too in the little landlocked situation.
that
we found,
exact fly.
that exact fly,
Yeah.
and it caught a ton of bass.
Yeah,
And then you could watch them, just look at it, and
Yeah.
go, "Yup." And
I
slurp
think
it
there's a
up.
big
Okay.
nugget here, though. A lot of the time as anglers, we go, let's go big.
Yeah.
Because, the fish is going to think, A, more food.
Yeah,
B, aggressive. Like, get it out of here. C, they'll see it. It
Yeah.
moves water.
Yeah.
But I think maybe this is a trend percolating up. And I'm kind of starting to feel like the smaller, the better.
yeah. I think it's like with the small ones. It's getting in the
Of course,
right
it all
spot at the right
depends.
time.
It all depends
You know
on
what I mean?
conditions
I
and
just think it
everything else.
depends on what they're eating. If
Of
they're
course.
eating big
Yeah,
stuff,
of
dude, just
course.
fish the forage.
But
That's
but when you're fishing something like this, like Huron, it's like we're fishing bait fish patterns.
Yep.
You could go big and go small. Like they're eating minnows, you know.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
when I saw that little fly in the water, I was like, I think that's the move versus a big
Yeah, yeah.
fly. I was
Yeah.
like, I think the little guy, it just looked so fishy.
Yeah,
That's
and like
cool.
I feel like in calm water it did well.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, we changed that fly out.
So we took it off. After
we
we
took
caught
it
some
off.
fish, we got rid of it.
We have like a million flies up here this
Yeah,
weekend.
I know we've been talking about flies a lot.
Well, I've been
Like,
fishing one
Yeah.
fly the whole time.
yes, you
Yeah.
have. Yes.
We've had success
Yeah.
on
What fly
various
is it?
flies.
Scotty's McFinn.
Oh,
No,
so
Wait,
Scotty's
Scotty's
McFly.
McFly.
Yeah, yeah. Which like
McFinn.
I think a lot of listeners will actually be familiar with that pattern.
Yes.
Like it's Scotty was our guide, and
Yeah.
we're fishing with the Scotty of Scotty's McFly.
Yeah.
We're fishing with the guy that
The
made
guy.
the McFly.
Yeah.
Scotty's
Which is
McFly.
When you look at the pattern, it's like, oh yeah, of course, this is just looks like a legit.
I like it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Great pattern.
Yeah.
And Scott invented it, and
Yeah.
it's a mainstream fly now, and he gave us McFlies. So you've been using that the whole time.
The whole time.
Yelma,
It's
what
already
happened
been
when
using.
you put it on?
Well,
How many fish had you had caught until you put that fly on?
yeah, I mean, oh my God. Like, yeah, I wasn't using that. As soon as I put that on, it was just fish after fish, man. How many? I don't know how much did I catch yesterday.
Right, so in the morning, like
How
you're
many fish?
kind of you're begging me for flies because
So you were
Yeah, I
catching
was.
fish.
Is that-
No,
well,
I
I was-
wasn't. I was just like, well, because he caught like 5 fish in like span of 2 minutes, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And what? Give me your fly. And then
Yeah.
Scotty's like, no, Nick's actually like just put on Scotty's.
I'm like the
McFly.
guide has this fly. Like
You should put it. You should put it on.
The guide was offering up a fly.
He wasn't
No,
offering
no.
it.
This is all Nick.
No. I knew this guide had this fly.
You knew about
I
this
knew about
pattern.
his
Yeah.
pattern.
So you
Scott's a very humble dude, man. He's not just going to be
very
like, oh, my fly's the best
No.
fly.
No.
I'm
Very
like,
humble.
there's this like story behind the guide and this fly, so like you
Yeah.
might want to ask him for one. And
Do
so he
you
did.
know what the story is?
Well, I just know that like he's known for this pattern.
This is his thing.
Yeah, it's like it's been on. There's YouTube videos of him talking about it and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Yoma ties it on.
Yeah. Nick's like, yo, put that on, man. And I put it on.
Immediately.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah. A pike. It was a snot rocket. And sorry,
Yeah, you said you didn't want to say snot
I don't
rocket
like snot
anymore.
rocket. It's just
Why?
like because there's just beautiful fish. You
You
know?
looked at me like I should edit that out. It's fine. You're fine. Snot
All right.
rocket is
So
not.
No, we've
Hey.
decided that snot rocket's like it's disrespectful to small pike. They're gonna be big pike one day.
Yeah,
they
but
will.
there's-
You should have respect for
that's
them.
true. I don't know. Snot rocket. I guess you know what? I don't think it's a derogatory term for pike. I'll tell you why. One, rocket. They're fired up.
They are.
Yeah.
rocket.
Oh
They're
yeah,
aggressive,
They are.
they're,
And
like,
snot. They're
feisty.
just small.
Snot. No, snot. They're just. I think it's because they're just like really.
They're
slimy.
very slimy.
Yeah,
Slimy.
just literally slimy.
Oh man, you
But
should edit that out. 'cause
That's not a bad thing. Being all
Small and slimy.
dirty.
I mean, look
and,
at
know.
you, Mitch.
Yeah, I'm kind of a snot rocket.
Yeah.
I'm all fired up. I'll take you down. You know.
He's
Don't even
very
look at me like
slimy.
that. Come on. Now.
all right, let's keep snot rocket, Nick.
All right.
And yeah, so snot rocket
I
right
didn't have a
away.
problem with it, but Yoma did a real issue today.
Yeah, I was like, well,
What would you call the little pikes? If you gave them a nickname.
small torpedoes, missiles,
Not as
Little
catchy.
missile.
little missiles,
Little missile. Little missile.
little missiles.
I don't think it's gonna catch on.
Little missiles?
Little
Oh
missiles?
man, I'm kind of sick of fishing little missiles. You know,
Fucking little missiles.
little missiles, man. This bay is full of little missiles, man.
And then after that was I don't know, like a little 2-pounder.
Yeah.
Oh, a little pounder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember actually yesterday,
Little
man. My
pound.
brain went, but there was a lot of yeah, we got a lot of
You
bass.
got into a ton of fish.
Oh
a
yeah,
ton
man.
of fish. Oh fuck,
Yeah.
we went back to that shoal and just like
Yeah. So especially like I don't know, the highlight for me so far this trip anyway was that evening that we spent out on that shoal. And oh my goodness, like Gilmo was crushing it on a Scotty's McFly, and then I was fishing like just some
Oh, you guys are picking
deceiver looking thing.
the
You guys were
Seaver,
picking
the
them
olive
up.
one, right?
It's got like a chartreuse head on it, but it's a white pattern.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's basically like a small. It was kind of in between the small fly and the big fly, so I was like, well, I got both bases covered here.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
And the bass were eating that really well, and we even finally got them on the feed, so we were having double headers and everything like that. And that was like sun setting. It's
Yeah.
we got
Days of
double
shooting
double
beautiful
headers.
photos and
Oh,
it's magic.
oh.
We've had a couple double headers.
I will say last night. So the end of day one was beautiful. Like that was the night. You know what I mean? Like because that's when like the fishing was like on. They were feeding. We had found them. You guys were catching fish after fish.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And it was, you're in the middle of a fishing trip. It was just a perfect night. Like that's the kind of night you go for,
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And yeah, we caught a lot of fish.
Yeah.
We caught a lot of fish. No, it was no walleye.
Nope.
There was no pike, I don't think. In
Not
the
last
evening, it was
night.
all
No, it
smallmouth
was all
bass.
smallmouth.
Evening was all small.
Beautiful, clean,
Morning
Lake
was pike.
Huron, deep water smallmouth bass.
Yeah, the pike were the first things to.
Pike were
really
the
get in
first
boat.
things, yeah.
Yeah.
In the morning, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as usual.
30
Well, that's the thing.
30 some
Pike were
odd
showing
pike
up.
and
Pike were showing up at your boat, and I was
Yeah, I
like,
don't know what's going
"Oh,
on
Here
there."
we go.
that was a slow crawl retrieve. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then
Very,
that's
very slow. Yeah.
very
yeah.
slow. Yeah, they're sluggish.
But we were right behind you guys, and I just had this fly on that was like white and chartreuse and had a red throat. And we were fishing that behind you guys, and we were only getting
Smallies on it.
Nice
yeah.
ones.
Yep. Yep.
Those ones, yeah.
And I was
Odd
like,
fly.
I love this fly. And then Nick looked at it. He's like, I
I don't want that.
I don't like that fly. I immediately just like
He's like, no, it's not
disregarded
my fly.
that fly. Yeah, I didn't like
the
it.
deer heady thing.
It just didn't.
head.
Yeah, it looked like it would sink too slow. And
Yeah.
but that's
Definitely-
okay. Hey,
definitely sank slow.
don't ever let my opinion of a
No.
fly or of anything really ever just change your opinion
Hey.
because everybody does it individually.
Everybody's got to have.
I'm very specific on what I tie on the end of my line. So.
Yeah. Idis and I are like, what? We were
I
fishing
don't know
worms.
enough about fishing
We were
to-
fishing worms at one
Yeah.
point, right?
Get out of
Yeah.
here.
We were bait fishing.
I
Yeah.
was throwing hot dogs in the water.
Look at Nick's face. Get it? No, we were.
Yeah.
We were fishing
I
worms.
asked you guys if you brought the can of worms. I wasn't serious.
No, we bait. We just right, Idis. We bait cast. We're bait casters. We don't
Yeah.
really fly.
Yeah. I mean,
It's all a thing.
yeah.
Put
Where are
it
you
on.
going with this?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's true. Actually, yeah. I was joking. Nick did spin fish today and
Yeah.
caught a fish.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Edit that out right away.
We'll talk about what that means because he didn't bring
Oh
his spin
my
rod.
God.
That was awesome though. That was funny. I got an awesome picture of you like wrestling a fish on a spinning rod.
I was gonna try to shake it off. Like there cannot be evidence of this.
It was a nice fish, dude. It was not bad.
But why not? What's the big deal? I don't know why I'm making a big deal of this.
Why
like,
not? You know,
nothing wrong with
yeah.
spin fishing at all.
Hey man, yeah,
No,
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 yeah.
no one's
I
making
think
a big
most
deal.
people that would come up to a place like Brennan's here, like
Yeah.
like even if they are
Oh.
fly anglers, they might not think like I don't know if I'd bring a fly rod. I'd say
This
that's
is
a huge mistake.
This is huge.
Definitely bring the fly rod.
This is great spin fish water.
Oh,
This is great. This
yeah.
is great.
Can you
Tube
imagine
jig, like
spoons?
single
Oh,
worm
yeah.
water.
Whatever, man. Like spoons, whatever.
yeah.
Jigging. If you're just
if you're jigging,
jigging off the
Oh.
bottoms of these
Yeah,
shoals, like
yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
smoke bass,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Big.
yeah.
You'll do a lot better than we did.
Yeah.
But here's
know?
the
Yeah.
thing is, especially Brennan's here, and like we're talking about the boats being outfitted nicely for a fly angler. Also, you have Scotty, who's a guide. Who
Yeah.
you ask Scotty like, do you do any other fishing? No, he doesn't. He's just fly,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like there's not a lot of places in Northern Ontario where you have a guide who specializes in fly fishing.
Yeah.
He knows. The guy runs a fly shop. Like,
He is
dude, he
fishy.
knows exactly what lines you need to have and everything. I told him about my Type 9 line. And he's like, no, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's what you
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah, so that definitely makes this place very unique.
You're right. And it's Scotty's unique in general. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Scott's a unique guy. Like, I mean, we talked a little bit about Scott in the beginning of this, but yeah, he's Scottish guy named Scott. I just realized that.
Yeah, who likes Scotch?
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Scottish guy moved to Massey, Ontario, because when he met his wife, and now they've got a family here in Massey. And you're right, amazing fly angler, and that's all he does.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't do gear guiding and stuff. Yeah, so that's cool. I didn't know that. That's really neat. Very, very interesting guy. Very cool guy. But yeah, no, I'm with you, man. Like if you were just, do you want to do me a favor? Thank you very much, my friend.
Me too, please.
Let's get a round of bushes. No, that's for later. Yelma's looking at the scotch.
All right, fine.
If you want a glass, you can have a glass, of course.
It's for you, bud.
It's for you.
for
It's
you.
for you. Nick graciously brought us a bottle of scotch. Nick, you're the best.
thank you.
And we will be drinking that later. I'm gonna get the sits.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there you go. A couple of bushes.
Well, it was one wheat beer and back on the bush.
It doesn't take long to get back on the
No,
bushes.
I saw that Weber in the fridge, and I'm like,
Did you? I think there might be another one in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all yours, Yelma.
the Bavarian Weiser.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, so that was the end of day one. Day one was fantastic. Very good, very fun. It ended great. Came back here, cooked up some burgers, right? Hung out, drank some more bush, of course, and just chatted the night away. It was very fun.
yeah,
It
we
was
really
very
did,
fun.
eh?
We did.
We chatted.
Oh yeah, you just have a little
We
chat.
chatted, had a few pops.
Do you know what's really fun is chatting after a day of fishing.
I was just going to say that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like it more than anything.
Talk about the day,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you just side tangents. Oh,
Yep.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's great. I fell asleep when you guys were talking.
Yeah, we know.
Yelma went to bed a little earlier than
I,
the
did,
rest
I
of
was
us.
tired. Sorry.
So
okay.
Yilma always does that.
Yeah, that was all right. Dude, we're in the sun all day, too. Like,
We're in the sun all day. You're getting a little older now.
you are the
Yeah.
senior here.
You know.
I am the
You're
senior.
not really taking care of
Goes
yourself.
to bed. Yeah. Yeah, you're really letting yourself go, man.
I know, it's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah. As he
pretty
flexes
wild.
through his Costa.
Yeah, he's going to tear through that
belly.
shirt if he
You got
flexes
a
any
belly.
harder.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me that. So, anyways, yeah, I'm with you, man. Having a couple pops
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Shared some fishing stories.
And honestly, like, this is probably, because you guys are, like, not looking at the window like me.
No, I'm just looking at you.
Like, you've got, Idis is the worst view right now. He's just staring at me. I'm looking out the window. This is probably, like, I have to say, next to Estegami, this is, like, one of the coolest views we've had recording a podcast.
The
Yeah.
view is wonderful. And, like,
You just see the whole bay.
intentionally giant window facing
yeah.
out. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big
Right.
bay of pencil reeds, and the muskies patrol along the shoreline.
looking at
so
those
let's wrap
reeds.
this up and
Get some muskie going, yeah.
If one of
I'm
you
just
guys
joking.
catches a muskie,
If we caught a
oh my
muskie,
God,
man.
holy shit!
If we caught a muskie.
So it's worth a try.
It's worth a try. I
What
know
else
I know
we
it's
got?
going to happen,
We're just
but
here
also I know what could happen
Mm-hmm.
love.
with a muskie.
Mm-hmm.
Could be amazing.
That's what I'm talking about.
Even to get some follows would be cool.
Even to get
Yep.
even to see if I mean, I'm probably actually that would just piss me off.
Because that's
think so.
typical of muskie, right? But out here, they
follow
get
and you
50
don't get
inchers out here for sure. So
If I saw a 50 incher and it was going to go for my fly and that it didn't, I'd be stoked. But I'd also be like, damn it, like that big smallmouth you saw yesterday. Okay, but that's for later.
Yep.
For later.
Today, so we
Focus.
woke up today and we were like, okay, well, today we're gonna go spend a bunch of time on the water. Beautiful morning.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the water around 8:00.
perfect time.
Yeah, it was great.
Adis made amazing breakfast.
You cooked up some
Yeah, I gotta
bacon
say,
and
man.
eggs, man.
Bacon for the
Like,
breakfast.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
He's the breakfast guy on these trips, you know?
Dude, like
I've
waking
literally
up.
I've never made breakfast for anyone.
I'm not a good
These
morning
trips.
person. Like I'm usually a little groggy in the
You
morning.
always cook the
I don't mind
bacon.
cooking. I don't
You're
mind
always
cooking
a
ever. I'm happy to cook. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
man, you're up making bacon. Waking up to bacon is
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was up early anyway. I was just kind of laying in bed and just like
Waking up to bacon when you're gonna go fishing. Remember we woke
Oh,
up and you're like,
what's
oh.
better?
I look
Come
over
on.
at Nick and he's like waking up and he's like, oh man, I love waking up when you're gonna go fishing the whole
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And there's bacon
And there's
sizzling,
coffee
brewing.
and bacon ready to
That's kind of
go.
peak like
Oh,
yeah.
life, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotta say, man. So like, I had a baby 2 months ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah, cheers, man. Thank you. So that's my second child. So nobody cares when you have a second child, right? But I'm just kidding. And so
It's always the first. Oh, you had
So-
a baby.
oh,
Oh,
yeah, first
you
is a
had
big
another
deal.
baby. Yeah,
first a big deal.
You've already
for
had
sure.
a baby.
First- yeah,
Didn't
you
you
already
learn?
been through that, right? Yeah, exactly. Didn't you learn exactly? And so yeah, most of my fishing this year, like I have not done full days.
Yeah.
All my fishing this year has been like run out in the morning, and like I got a little window of time, which
Do
I'm
what you can
very
do.
happy to have when I
Yeah.
do have it. And
And you're not, you don't feel like you're stealing time.
no, and so I go really early in the morning, or I go in like the evening when like my whole family's all
Yeah.
wound down and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I mean, it's not hard now. The river's so close, but yeah. So to have multiple days
Yeah.
to go fishing is just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like talk about settling into a groove. And
Oh man,
I don't know. There's a nice.
See, I'm so excited that you came because I'm
Oh,
happy
man,
that
I can't thank you guys enough.
I'm happy that we could do this for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no,
I mean,
this
you
is
still got to
dude,
change diapers while you're here, but that's
Oh.
not so bad.
Just, what?
Well, Yilma's on the trip.
Yeah, you must-
Yeah.
We just said he's getting older.
Yeah.
Continence is a bitch, huh?
Yeah, I'm telling you. Once a man, twice a child.
That's what they say.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know. But yeah,
All
no,
right.
man, I'm happy that you were able to come up and
Yeah.
and have some fun with us.
Well, it's
Yeah,
been
this is
wonderful.
good.
Dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thank
We're
you.
gonna do some more of them, no doubt in my mind. But
Next weekend.
you want to go out next week with me?
I'm going to Temagami next weekend.
Are you?
Yeah.
Wow.
What are you gonna do tomorrow? This is a side tangent. What are you doing tomorrow?
I was going to visit, although go do some camping,
Where were we going with that anyway? Yilma, you're going to Temagami.
Yeah,
but I can't remember where we were going
No,
before
we're
that.
talking about being here, not
Yeah.
Temagami.
No, we were saying that we were talking about the day, fishing today,
Yeah.
and going out
So
this
what-
morning, waking up to some bacon,
Waking up to
to some
bacon,
eggs,
Some coffee,
waking up to some calf,
some aromatic.
and then hitting in the boats. And you drove the boats today.
Yeah,
Yesterday, like you said, you and Yilma were with the guide Scott in the
Yep.
boat.
Yeah.
Me and Idis were
Which is
media
nice.
boat. We were
Shout,
media
shout out
boat.
Media Boat.
Shout out media boat. And we were just driving around snapping pictures. And then today we switched it up, so we went with Scott. You guys hopped in the boat. What? Because do you boat a lot?
Oh no, definitely not.
So what was your
So I
first
I used to drive a boat like quite a bit.
Yeah.
Definitely when I was younger, but like now like almost never. I'm more of a river fisherman.
Totally,
and, I don't know. My dad has a boat, and if we're taking the boat out or something, which doesn't happen very often. Usually he'll drive it or something. But no, I don't drive a boat too often. But I mean, I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
riding a bike.
It's like riding a bike. You just
Yeah.
rock and roll.
You just hit
That's
the
nice.
gas.
I was actually pumped to drive the boat.
I know,
These
it's
are
kinda
nice
fun.
boats.
These
I was
are
like,
pretty fun, man.
Sweet
yeah.
boats,
As soon as like we got into gear a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be
It's
sweet.
fun. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is fun. I love ripping around.
And Yilma was more than happy to let me drive the boat. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't want to fuck it up.
And you don't have a
Yeah.
license.
Yeah, you gotta have a license for these puppies because
that's not true. Yilma has a license. He's just kept it a secret from everybody.
You
I
have
got
a
my
boat?
boat smart, yeah.
You fucking piece of shit.
I can't imagine you ripping around in a 50
No,
horse. Even
I'm
though-
all right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No.
probably for the best, Nick.
Yeah.
It's really nothing to it. You hit the gas and go. But these today was really fun because you guys were in a boat and then we went out to a spot this morning that was really really cool.
That was the main lake, was it not? That
Yeah.
was-
So
Yeah.
That was like, it opened up and Yelma was like, I don't want to go.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I want
no. So it wasn't the main lake.
No?
No, we were still on the other side of Manitoulin.
Oh my God.
So,
yeah. You're right.
So this is like North Shore sort of area.
Wow.
So it's where all the wind is blowing
Manitoulin.
to.
We saw Manitoulin kind of in the distance.
Gotcha. To paint a picture, it's
Yeah.
like blue horizon as long as you can see. And like rollers coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even
And I like-
necessarily the main lake.
I like when you come out of Brennan's Harbour and you're like, oh yeah, we're on the lake now. You're hitting some waves, and then you come around the corner, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
there's the lake.
And then you pass through an island, and then you're like, oh no, there's the lake.
Yeah, it's all white.
The water
caps.
goes from big to bigger to biggest.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
Yeah.
holy shit. And then Scott was like, yeah, that's Manitoulin. Oh, I'm like, oh, so the other side. He's like, yeah, the other side is the lake.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, it's like a 20-minute boat ride
But
over there. with the
Manitoulin
waves.
and all that water we were looking at,
Yeah.
it's aggressive water and it's serious water. I was like, Scott, have you ever like boated across? He's like, yeah, I've never really had a boat like big enough to do it, like to handle it. He's like,
Yeah.
like
a lot-
people. He's like, people do it.
Yeah,
Have
there's
you
a lot,
seen the boats that go
there's
to
a-
Manitoulin?
There's a lot of big boats out here.
No,
Dude, they are like
they're like
freaking freighters.
Well,
or
Yeah.
something, like,
there was a couple that came in. Like I don't know if you call them like yachts, but those are big.
Oh, those
boats.
were yachts.
big cruisers,
Yeah,
yachts,
yeah,
cruisers,
yachts,
yeah.
Like when they got like flags on them and stuff.
big, man.
Dude, some of those
Three
even I don't even
floors.
know if they're going. Like they got to go on a nice day.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh,
thing.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ain't
that's the
going
thing.
on a rough day, that's for sure.
No, because like it's serious water.
Yeah.
And I was actually talking to Scott yesterday about Manitoulin because he was talking to me about, I was like, oh, do they get steelhead salmon and stuff? And so he was talking about that.
Shh.
It really is. They don't get that
No,
stuff. They don't get
no,
that stuff.
no
No,
fish.
unfortunately, they don't have any salmon or steelhead. They don't have any fish.
Not a
No,
single
man,
one.
there's
actually.
no fish in Manitoulin. Eh?
No.
It's a
You'd be
funny thing.
surprised. Yeah, there's none. Yeah.
Amazing,
No.
because there's water there.
No.
And if
there's
I've learned
like-
anything from
Well-
Vegas, fish live in water.
Yeah. They got otters.
Hey, you know what? Good luck going out there. I'll
Frogs.
tell you that. But I was talking to him about Manitoulin, and he was explaining to me, and I'm like, wow, this is like really like oceany, It's really, really cool. I love that kind of water. It's very, I just aggressive,
Yeah.
It's very cool because it's just like, it's like being on the ocean. It's like coastals, and it's kind of how when Lund talks about Superior,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's that kind
Yeah.
of same
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like being on the Edmund Fitzgerald.
There you go.
I'm playing that later.
I like that song, doesn't he?
Yeah, I
Yelma
like that
really
song.
likes that song.
We talked about that song last
love
night. We
to
were talking
do
about
it a
Gordon
lot.
Lightfoot.
So beautiful.
All right.
I might go to the concert.
Mutual
on
love affair
27th.
for Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh my
We do.
goodness. Oh.
Yeah,
It's great.
I might go to Massey Hall.
to see Gordon.
Yeah, to see Gordon.
You should.
27th, I think he's playing.
Of this month.
November.
Ah,
That's not this month.
we're gonna go see Big Wreck with Eric.
Yeah, I know. I'm coming to that too.
Wow.
If Bree does, if Bree doesn't go, I'm going to that.
My boss is a
Big
huge
Wreck.
Big Wreck fan.
Yeah,
Yeah, he loves Big Wreck. I don't know what it is. He loves great music.
tell you, man.
For some
we-
reason, he likes Big Wreck too. No,
Hey,
there's nothing wrong.
baby.
Ian Thornley, don't hate us.
Hey, baby, I love me some Big Wreck. We blasted.
Ian Thornley's the lead singer.
We blasted. I'm ready for 4-hour guitar solos. I'm ready for it.
Dude.
We blasted Albatross the whole camping
Wow.
trip in Temagami.
Wow.
Yeah.
It
Shut
was
up,
just,
Big Rack.
It was just that one song over and over again.
Yeah.
All of us screaming.
I think
at
that's
each
the
other.
only song Eric has actually.
I think, and that and Running with the Devil.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, Van Halen. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's like, this is for the morning. This is for the evening.
Yeah. This is what we listen to here.
That's it.
And then
Nothing
sometimes
else.
Wreck of the Edmund,
Yeah, but the Clay
Clay version,
of
which
it,
is his band,
which
and
is
then
his band. Yeah,
occasionally we'll bump Fleet Foxes.
yeah occasionally. Yeah.
No, Mitch, that's not true at all, man. Your music taste is awesome. Like,
Oh,
you've been just dropping banger songs.
Hey, I'm happy that someone can appreciate it.
Yeah.
And to be
Yeah,
honest
I
with you,
appreciate
okay,
dude.
I was in here like, I don't know what I was doing. You guys weren't in here and your music was playing. And I was like, man, I can't even remember what it was. It was Frankie's Gun. that
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I can't even think of the name of the band, but something Brothers.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I thought I was like the only person that listened to this stuff.
Oh,
And
man.
Here's Mitch over here. And then,
Come on, babe.
but Yilma doesn't like it. And he told
No.
me in the boat.
No, it's not like no.
We were talking about Yelma Legs.
It's not like I don't like it. It's just that it's constant.
Can I tell the people what? Well, okay, yeah.
No, you can't.
said he doesn't
because
like
you don't know
fills.
you don't know what I really listen. Man,
You should hear the music I play for Yelma on long car drives. It's this one song by Michael Hurley
yeah.
where it's just, it's great. I love it, but it's super long and repetitive, and Yelma gets so mad. And it's basically a fiddle.
Yeah.
Do you make playlists on Spotify? I feel like people would follow you
I
on
do.
Spotify.
I have a playlist on Spotify actually. That's maybe
Follow,
not.
follow Mitch Doosling on
You might-
Spotify.
yeah.
Some good playlists.
You might not like this one. This one's called The Jungle of Mitchie, and it's just
Oh.
exotica.
It
music.
is.
Oh, okay.
It is
Hundreds
wonderful.
of Denny Martins, and
I mean, if you're having like a little tiki party,
Oh, it's a tiki playlist.
if you got a little backyard setup,
Oh yeah.
this will get you going.
Oh yeah. Jungle
Cool.
Mitchie, man.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, okay, I'll
But-
listen to it.
But Yelma doesn't like the music. Yelma's he's a top 40 guy.
No,
Bohemian rap.
He's like,
Old
listen,
top
No,
40.
I'm not a top 40
He's like,
guy.
What's
I
your
like
favorite
Gordon
song?
Lightfoot,
I'm
and
not
that's
a-
it. It stops with Gordon Lightfoot.
I'm not a.
Stops at
I'm not.
Gordon.
No. I'm not only a top 40 guy.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I
anytime I'm
dabble
like,
in everything.
I'm like, Yelma,
Yeah.
here. Okay, Yelma, you plug in.
But
And
I
it's
do-
Black Hole Sun.
I do love cheesy. I love music that makes me feel.
And then it's
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody, followed by Tiny
It's not
Dancer.
true. This is to all the listeners.
feel
This
like
is
it's
not true.
And there's, there's definitely
Yilma's a deep guy.
Oh,
There's
it makes
no
sense.
way.
I am very
The conversations
deep.
we've had out in that boat this last couple of
I'm
days here,
hit-
like I'm telling you, there's definitely
He's
Yilma's
he's
got
an
some like
intellect.
yeah, for sure. I bet you Yilma's got some awesome.
That is some
songs to share with
condescending
everybody.
shit.
Yilma, are you on Spotify? Can we follow you on
Yeah,
Spotify?
absolutely. You should
All
see
right.
my playlist. I got a bit of everything, man.
Yeah,
And
you
obscure music. I have a lot of mushroom jazz, and I have a lot of hip hop.
The heck is mushroom jazz?
Yeah, mushroom jazz.
Mushroom
you know
jazz
what?
is a subgenre of house. Okay, it
Okay.
is like
I know- yeah,
jazzy, like housey,
yeah,
kind of like.
yeah. We know everyone knows mushroom jazz. All right.
Not everyone.
I don't know mushroom.
I
Jazz.
definitely
You
do
do
not
because
know
you
mushroom
know,
jazz. Yeah,
but
we went to art
Adis
school.
is good music. You know, like he's good.
Yeah, when I was 19, I was into mushroom jazz.
Yeah, that's funny. That's true.
So you said he's good, and then you looked at me. What were you gonna say?
No, I'm kidding. You have good taste, man.
Okay, well, I think we should put
Why
your
did you
playlist.
wink at me when you said that?
I think we should put your playlist.
I got
in-
attracted to you.
I'm gonna put your
Well,
playlist
what do
in
you
the
mean,
show
God?
notes. The show notes of this episode.
Yeah, why don't we? Yeah, you know the
Yeah.
show. Yeah, all right, all
Yeah,
right.
let's-
Both of you guys playlist. Your exotic jungle music.
All right.
Okay.
And,
And then we'll have a vote.
No,
Yeah,
here's
just-
what we're gonna do.
no
Here's
vote?
what we're gonna do. We're gonna put 2 playlists in the show notes
Yeah.
on Podbean, where we host this podcast. I'm gonna do a Brennan Harbour playlist. You're gonna do a Brennan Harbour playlist. We'll put them up. We'll let people vote. We'll put it on social too. We'll do Instagram. Yeah,
Done.
Oh,
we'll let the people.
I think that's a
decide who's
great
better
idea.
taste in
I love
music.
it.
Love it.
Yeah,
That's
it's on.
amazing.
so
Love
what's
it.
what's the prize?
Nope.
Well,
uh.
you could go fishing with one. Whoever wins takes the person fishing to the destination of their choice, anywhere in the world.
Done.
All expenses paid.
Looks like you're going rooster fishing, Mitch.
Can you imagine if we were able to pull
Sponsored
that one
by
off?
Bush.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Nice callback.
Anyways, we got super sidetracked there. So
What were we talking about? Fishing?
we were talking about
Oh
day
yeah,
2.
fishing.
We went out on the
two.
boats, and today was great. The morning we spent in the fishiest place I've seen yet on this trip. I think
Yeah.
like it was just sand shoals, drop offs, weed beds,
Yeah.
rock bolt. Like it was like if you spend some time in there, and Scott even was like, "This is even kind of exploratory for me." Like he hasn't spent that much time.
Yeah,
where we
yeah.
were. He's like, "Man, if you come in here in the morning." What I liked about it was just like that kind of place you hit when the fish are coming into sun.
Yeah.
And if you get there,
They-
like
they're
if you roll up
eating
at
already.
7 a.m.,
Yeah.
it's probably just
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Is like they'd
probably
spend the early morning eating,
yeah.
fill up their tum tums,
Oh yeah,
go
Or
hang out in
jump
the sun.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just
Nice life for them.
yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
Could be
man.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it was crystal clear water.
Crystal clear.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Very spooky. They could spook easily. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
when we were in there, the sun was high and the fish were out. I think. By
Yeah,
then.
yeah. We didn't see any in that spot. I think
I saw a couple smallmouth, and I was like, okay. But I think that
Yeah, it could-
Scott's right because he said it. He's like, if we were here 2 hours ago,
Yeah.
it would have been on. And I'm like, oh, man, we should have got up earlier.
Yeah. I know.
But-
That's hard to do.
But also, yeah.
I like sleeping.
I mean, yeah, if we were there at like 6, 7.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a boat ride away.
It was a bit of a boat ride. Yeah. Even
Anyway.
even with those boats are fast.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a ways.
But then we kind of like traversed back through the waves, and that's
Yeah.
when it was like, oh my god, these are big waves.
Yeah.
And then we made it to Scott was like, listen, we got to tuck into an island here and like get some shelter. And so we found some really cool little network of islands and bays, and that's where Yelma caught the fish of the trip.
So I've been saying Yilma was fishing real well.
Yeah?
Well, yesterday,
Fishing hard.
evening, yeah, like he
Fishing
was
hard.
fishing hard, but just like fishing well, man. Like Yilma was like sending some bombs out there, and I don't know, the confidence.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
The confidence was in his eye with his new fly that
The glimmer of
he-
confidence with McFly.
he'd got from the McFly, and man, I was ready for a big fish because I felt like that was the one piece that just was missing. You know?
Oh,
like,
Yeah.
like we saw yesterday, at least 3 or 4 like hog 5-pounders,
Yeah.
and we didn't connect and get them in the net.
Yeah.
But today,
Today,
Well, you
baby.
guys-
made it happen.
Yelma made it happen. And so we were fishing this little bay, and we were Idis, me, and Scott were behind a bit of a little inlet, and we hear Yelma because you guys were just around the corner.
Hear him yelling.
We hear Yelma yelling, big fish, biggest fish I've ever seen. Like, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, and Scott's like, do we go? I'm like, let's just make sure we can see them.
Yeah, let's see.
And because I'm like, usually Yelma gets really excited. Jazzed. What I love about you. See a fish and you're like, this is the biggest fish I've ever seen.
Sees literally anything.
And it's just, another fish.
There you go.
And the
little chickens.
Chicks,
Oh my
like
God.
birds.
Yeah,
Chickens.
like,
We're talking
I
about
love
chickens
I
here.
love them. I can't wait to see them.
they have, we got to talk about that. They have chickens here. They actually raise chickens and chicks and everything. But we'll get to that.
Yeah,
But
talking about fish.
so we're like, let's just make sure we can see them. And so we kind of come around the corner. Yilma's fighting a fish. I'm like, okay, he's got a fish. And then Nick looks over and he's like, he waves us over. He's like, yeah, come here.
Honestly,
I'm like,
it was
okay.
Nick.
Yeah.
That was like, oh, it's on. Like something's going on. When I saw Nick standing with the net,
Yeah,
and, like,
you said
focused,
that. You're like, oh, Nick looks pretty intense.
And even
yeah.
Scotty was like, oh, they're focused. Something's going on.
something's
And we're like,
going
all right,
on.
let's get over
Nick
there.
waves us
like,
over, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's a big fish.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we go over, and Yelma brings up a beautiful 5-pound smallmouth. Beautiful.
Yeah. Guide said
Beautiful.
easy 5.
Easy 5.
An easy 5.
And it was big. It was a nice fish, man.
What did you think when you looked at it?
Well, let me tell you, I've never seen a smallmouth that big in real life, to be perfectly honest. And I've fished for smallmouth my whole life.
It's a nice fish.
It's a beautiful fish.
Oh,
How does it look different though?
Yeah, what was...
Well, the mouth was really big. The head
Not
was
that
big. It wasn't small. You know what I mean?
Beautiful colors.
Beautiful colors. It was like dark green, like that tiger stripe, kind of dark green, and like the fins were like this orangey kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really healthy, beautiful, thick boy.
And how long was he?
It was 20 inches.
We measured him.
Measured him, 20 on the
measured him.
dot.
Yeah,
And
and
Nick,
like
thanks for
20
measuring.
minutes. Yeah, well, I don't know. Sorry, man. I think sometimes that's nice to have, too,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Oh, that's great.
a 20-inch smallmouth is a trophy fish, right?
Yeah. So caught
Yeah.
a trophy. It was
exciting.
nice. And honestly, it put me. I didn't want to fish. Not like I didn't want to fish. I always want to fish, but I was just like, you know what?
Well, mission accomplished.
Yeah, mission accomplished.
That was
Felt
mission
good.
today. Was to actually put one of those fish
was.
we saw yesterday in the net.
We left
Yeah.
this morning going, like, let's get a 5.
Yeah, let's get it.
Wow. And my favorite moment is that Yelma is fighting this fish and like the bend in the rod's great, right? Like, this fish, like to give you an idea, like everyone knows like smallmouth, right? Like they sometimes jump and stuff. Like the bigger ones sometimes don't do that.
Yeah.
And so like this one, it did give a jump. And I was like, Yelma, you gotta keep it down. It's jumping stressful.
Yeah.
And then the thing just like sounded like down, right?
down,
And then
yeah.
brought it back up and then another sound, right? And then Yelma looks over and goes, this 8-weight isn't enough. Yeah. And I'm like, it's an 8-weight. It's definitely enough.
Those are powerful fish.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, I don't know what you guys think, but like if they're hanging out in waves like that and that much,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, they get muscle on them.
Yeah.
They're constantly
rowdy.
fighting currents.
Oh, dude, even like some of those like smaller smallmouth on an
Yeah.
8-weight, and you're like, what's going on down there?
Dude, I was fishing a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
dude, a
And you-
2.5 pound smallmouth still pulls pretty damn hard.
Oh,
on a
yeah,
10.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get into a pike, and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is gonna be a monster. And you're like,
Yep.
oh, it's like maybe 30.
Yeah, it's a little missile.
Yeah, and they're but
exactly.
you get it, and you're like, that is a thick
It's
thick
a
fish.
little
It's a
missile.
little
That's
missile.
what we're going with
yeah.
that
It's
way.
a little
Yeah.
missile.
Little
Yeah.
thistle
You think
missile.
it's gonna be big? It's a little missile.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the 10 weights totally. I know. I don't like to go lighter. I
Yeah.
always air heavier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And here you're right. Like
Well,
10 weights.
and the 10 weight's not necessarily for the size of the fish, but like
No.
I'm telling you, in the wind, it's
Yeah,
nice,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. That's what I'm saying. If you're
wind.
punching through the wind,
There's a
Yeah.
whole bunch of
Yeah.
advantages
100%.
for it, no doubt.
and the
but-
smaller flies on a 10 weight,
It's pretty fun.
wind's no problem.
No issue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was a beautiful fish.
Yeah.
It's a great moment.
My best Smalley. Beautiful moment. It was great.
Yeah, I like when they get like a bit of gray on their like belly. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the dots and
Yeah.
stuff. I'm like, these
That fish has been around.
been around for a while,
Dude,
man.
Yeah.
Do you know how old that fish was? What did the guide say?
20 years.
Something like 20
Yeah,
years.
20 years or something.
20 years,
Yeah.
something
So
like
that's
that,
the thing, man. Like people don't realize how slowly like smallmouth grow. In some of our rivers in southern Ontario, like you could be catching 20, 25-year-old fish. There's a certain population size of a population of them, and if you're taking those fish, like we're not going to have those fish anymore because we just don't have the ability to recover them, right?
It takes a
So,
long time.
Like people eat bass, and like I like eating bass too. Like I definitely have eaten my fair share of smallmouth in the fall in the past. But they are slow growing fish.
Yeah. It's like a
Don't
fine,
take the hogs.
It's like a fine wine, you know. Like you can catch a fish that's 20 years old and be like, wow, this thing's been here
Yeah.
for the last 20 years.
There's
Like
a
think
fishy
about where we were
wine.
20 years ago.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
It's like this fish.
Well,
you know?
you have
Yeah.
Can you imagine being a fish and living
No.
here for 20 years?
No, I cannot.
How many things did that thing have to go through to,
A
Yeah.
lot.
How many people try to catch it?
how many people tried to catch
Well,
it? How
that's
many muskie did it avoid?
And that's what Scott was saying is like he's like, I bet you that bass
Yeah.
has never seen a
Yeah.
fly or a lure
Scott was saying that, yeah.
and just
Well, we're in a place that's like that.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
for sure.
How and like, again, how many of those are out there? You know,
And it's like there's got to be some crazy structure down at the bottom.
Oh,
in those channels and stuff. Like
Yeah.
there's some things going on down there.
yeah. But you're right, Nick. You know, like put them back. Think about the fishery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just think about it more. Less take, more think.
Well, I just think bass are not one. We talk a lot about keep them wet with trout and stuff like that, and like
Yeah.
and then you get into bass, and people are like, oh, you know, whatever.
They're
it's just
hardy,
it's just
whatever.
a bass,
Yeah.
a little
Just a
hardier,
bass.
and like you can hold a bass by the mouth
Good
and
point.
reef on the jaw of the bass, and like no one calls you
don't
out on
do
social
that.
media for that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, these fish are like super old. It wouldn't take a lot to affect the population. Probably not here, but I'm talking more about our rivers back home in southern Ontario, where we don't have we have a lot of fishing pressure on those rivers, and those fish are extremely old.
Yeah.
That like just because it's not trout doesn't mean that like you
Totally.
can't show that fish some respect, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's like exactly like this thing could be 20 years old. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't keep it wet, keep it
Yeah, yeah.
catch and release. Like, have respect for the catch release
Yeah, yeah.
process for all fish. So
Yeah, big time.
it's a really good point. It's a really really good point. And you did, and it
And it
was.
did, yeah.
We
was
didn't
good.
have it out very long at all,
No.
and she kicked back off.
Kicked back. Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
straight
yeah.
straight
Right
back
down.
down to the deep cold water, because it was a big drop off shoal there. So.
Yeah, yeah.
You almost a quick fish releaser. That's what I noticed.
Yeah.
It's like the fish is out of the water for like 2 seconds, and
Yeah.
then you almost got it back, and I'm like, I didn't even have time to pull my camera out.
I'm
The
with
time
I'm with you.
falling
Yoma.
off, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's all right.
Yoma and I, we share that.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
man.
Get him back.
I don't
good.
like having fish out of the water.
No.
No.
Kind of worries me. I'm
No,
so
no, for sure.
worried. I just like
To be honest, like honestly, I respect that about you guys so much. That like
Oh,
it's not about the hero shot or any
We're
of that.
constantly terrified.
Yeah, like we were just looking through
Yeah.
some of like Adis's like beautiful photos that
Yeah.
he took, and like it's not the hero shot, man. It's all
Yeah.
about the whole story of the experience and everything, and like the fish pictures. Everybody likes fish pictures, but like
it's great.
forget about like that perfect one where it's a wide angle and it looks like a monster. Like
Forget
No,
about it.
and no, it's
not how we
more about-
roll.
Forget about it, man. Honestly, I'm looking at this living creature in my hands, and I'm like, is this worth a social post?
Yeah, like how long can you hold your breath?
Come on,
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like this thing's like a living thing. Like
Yeah.
I gotta let
Yeah.
this thing go. It does
Yeah.
not want to be in my hands.
It was
right
just duped.
now. Yeah. Like it's
Come
not
on,
happening.
Throw it back in there.
You
Game
had your
over.
moment. Let it go.
The jig is up.
But you're able to if you try to figure. We figured out ways. We take pictures from boats. We figured out ways to do
Yeah.
stuff that we like, and we got some cool photos of it.
Yeah,
You
man.
know,
Oh, man.
As soon as we got back to the cabin, you almost like looking at them.
I want to see I want to see that fish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
where are the photos? I want to see what photos
Yeah.
we got of this proof of this
Put the fish back. Get some big glass.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, I think that was the highlight of today. But after that, we went and found a really cool back bay,
Yeah.
found a wooden bridge,
Wooden
Oh,
bridge.
that was
posted up for
yeah.
lunch. You know,
Yeah.
chain the boats
A
off.
nice
and
little time to have
Yeah.
a breather.
We had a breather, and
Have a breather in the blazing sun.
yeah, and that's when there was a spinning rod on the bridge,
Oh yeah.
and it was so when we pulled up, there was a spinning rod there.
abandoned spinning rod.
Abandoned tight
Was
line,
snagged.
and it was snagged on a log, and someone had
Yeah.
hooked it, and they're like, I can't get that, and so
But
they
like,
just left.
is there a camp there or something like
So
There's
that?
a
or,
yeah.
like-
there's a camp there.
There's
Okay.
it's a YMCA camp.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And so there was also like I think we were together or we were talking about it, but there was a mill there.
No,
That's
I,
where-
I wasn't talking
yeah,
about
so
you.
there
I
was
don't
like
know this.
I don't know if you guys saw there was like a
Oh, yeah,
brick
did you-
structure
yeah,
in
I
the
did
woods.
see that,
I
yeah.
saw that.
So like a lot of that stuff was a mill. There all those poles and stuff in
Yeah.
the water. There was all like you can see in the water. There's tons of like they're not trees. Like it's obviously logs from some
Planks and stuff.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
and it's all just in the water. So it's like crazy structure for fish, which is pretty fun. Sketchy boating for sure.
Yeah.
You're gonna go
Yeah.
take it slow through there.
Well, those big poles. So we were in
Yeah.
this back bay, and there was these big poles, wooden,
Yeah.
old, like they've been there
Yeah.
for like over 100 years,
Yeah, easy.
sticking out of the water. So back whenever there was a huge dock there, some sort of
yeah.
log stopping system, because Scott was saying, oh yeah, like you go way back, and this was all logging and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's probably a mill here somewhere. And a couple hours later, we saw
Yeah.
some in the woods.
It must-
you saw it covered
yeah.
up with trees.
It was like the
very
abutment
hidden.
for something. Yeah.
Just made of stones.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
like, oh, cool, man.
And he was saying like,
Probably looked very different.
yeah, back in the
not
woods
bad,
there
eh?
and stuff, you'll find like horse pelvises and stuff, like because people
From
come in there with
crossing the-
horses. Yeah,
Wild.
the horses die.
Crossing the lake in the winter.
Yeah,
Wow.
and they're just like, all right, well, bury the horse here, I guess.
What a tough life, man.
Isn't that insane? That's
Yeah.
what Scott was saying. He's like, I was like, man, it's so cool. Like, oh, it'd be so cool to just go back to
He's
you know,
like,
when
"Nah,
this
it
was
sounds
working
terrible."
mill. He's
I
like,
wouldn't do well.
No,
do you know what, man? They would be like, they'd be like, who is
Yeah.
this? You know,
how have you time traveled?
No.
they'd put me on. They'd luau me.
I'm pretty sure
man.
the food sucked. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know what you're eating there, but
No, it's
Probably getting
It's a
scurvy.
hard
Scurvy,
life, man,
yeah.
no doubt. Because this is an island, everybody. Like
Yeah.
this is like, and this is we're talking like way back. There was no jet boats and things like
No,
that.
no,
Like,
no. You're working.
Yeah,
you're
this
working
is-
hard.
This is an island in the middle of
Well, because you're traveling probably.
Oh, yeah.
If you're exploring, you're going in winter, so you can cross these lakes.
your
and
mode of
stuff.
transport is horse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is probably gonna die.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
if you're moving stuff,
Yeah.
you can get stuff on like some sort of whatever boat
I wonder, how they did that.
situation. You
barge
go-
kind of deal.
yeah, like some
Barges,
sort of
yeah.
barge
Yeah,
maybe.
Barge
yeah.
is a big way of moving stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get stuff in there, and then you're like, all right, now what?
Yeah, that was wild.
So anyway, it makes for some nice fishing structure. I'll
Now
tell
it
you
does
that.
because
sure
all
does.
those planks that whatever that thing was, they've
Win-
all fallen in. This
Win
Yeah.
for the smallmouth.
There
Oh,
you go.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? True. It's
Yeah.
kind of true. Like nature reclaimed it, and actually, talk about a habitat. Like it
Oh,
was
yeah.
just piles
Oh,
of
yeah.
wood, in the middle of
And-
this bay.
And we jumped on that bridge.
Yeah.
We got Scott fishing. You
Yeah.
caught a couple. I think. Did you catch any there?
I had a little guy follow my fly.
Yeah.
Oh, on the bridge. Yeah,
On the bridge. Yeah, I had
yeah.
one. Like I chucked a fly into the reeds. The second the fly hit the water. It was
Got a
boom.
bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pulled up to this bridge that was near the camp, and we had lunch there, and
Yeah.
we're just fishing off it. And we were catching fish.
Oh yeah, and so back to the spinning rod.
And then the
spinning
spinning
rod
rod's
snagged
there.
sitting on the bridge.
So
it's like-
clearly
it's-
some kid. had
Some
something
kid
in.
snagged.
This is
He's
a
like,
cool
I don't know
story.
what to do.
This is a
so-
cool story. I didn't even know the story. He was just. You guys were all.
He was doing modeling in the woods
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
He almost was
I'm just looking over. I'm like, what is?
He was
so
naked,
funny?
laying on some
Yeah, he was very
rocks.
confused. He was like far away wondering what was happening.
We were photographing him for a different. There's
There's a
another
calendar
client. We
we're
can't
working
talk
on,
about that.
yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so there was a spinning rod, and so Scott and I went over to kind of unhook it from a log. Well, Scott unhooked it. I just was kind of watching him.
Yeah.
And then I just happened to be in the boat, and then
Nick's on the bridge holding
yeah,
the rod.
I had
Scott's
the
like-
rod in my hand.
Scott's
yeah.
like, yeah, can someone get that? And so Nick goes over to grab
Scott said
it.
we're going to do the right thing. And we're going
Yes.
to get this unhooked for this kid or whoever's going to
Yeah,
come back for the rod,
exactly.
and we're going to leave the rod there, and they're going to
Exactly.
wonder who the heck did this for me.
That's what
it
I was
like.
exci-
It was a pay it forward kind of moment.
That's what
yeah.
I was excited about. Like you imagine you get snagged. Oh, okay, I'll come back for this later. You come back, it's unsnagged and on the dock.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
they're not gonna know,
But it was a cast. Like that kid had hucked that spinner.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing kid, but yeah.
Yeah.
Had bombed that spinner like I don't
Yeah.
know, like geez, like
they
60
sent
feet
it.
or something like
Yeah.
that. Like they sent that
Oh,
thing.
they sent that
yeah.
thing,
It was
yeah.
on some log, and Scott
So
got it off.
you picked up the rod and we're reeling it in, and then you're like, I'm just gonna throw a cast out for funsies,
No, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say like
Oh, a
like,
fish
happened
hit
in
it.
that moment. But yes,
Nah,
I
you threw a
did.
cast
Fine. The
out.
truth is, you know what? So far, it's a truthful podcast. So I was like,
Yes, it
let's just
was.
pitch this spinner once, and so I threw a cast with the spinner.
No, I 100% would.
Oh my god! And then I got smoked by like a really good small
a
one.
nice smallmouth, yeah. And I started filming it. It was,
Yeah, so
laughing.
there's
It's like, oh,
some,
that's
some
a
funny
nice
stuff
fish.
where
it was awesome, man.
it was also my wrong hand, so it was like so awkward. But
Yeah, because you were reeling with the right.
Yeah, it's my right. I'm a lefty.
I was like,
anybody
oh
that
my
doesn't
god,
know,
no
but
way. And it was a nice bass.
It was a very nice bass. I don't know, man. That was like getting upwards of close to 3 pounds or so. But
Yeah, man.
Oh wow.
I know, but I was kind of like, please fall off the hook.
Oh, that's
and then
awesome.
like Adis was gonna net it.
I was trying to net it. It was
At the
going
net-
under the bridge.
It was under the
and
bridge,
stuff.
and at the net, I was kind of like, well, let's just like get rid of this. So there's no evidence of
Funny,
this.
Shake it off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, not that there's anything wrong with that, but
No,
it is,
no. Hey,
No.
we're on a fly fishing
it's a
trip.
fly fishing trip, man. And the
we're
whole
all-
thing is trying to figure
someone's-
this out on the fly,
and
right?
Somebody's got a spinner on them.
Yep.
It's breaking the rules.
Yeah. So moral of the story, man, spinners
fun.
catch fish.
Yeah. Oh, do they ever? Do
No
they
doubt,
ever?
man.
That's Black Fury, man. Don't.
No doubt.
yeah.
No doubt at all.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
That was fun. And then we came back to the lodge, and now we're here. That's
Yeah.
basically it.
We fished on our way back.
Fished on our way back, caught a couple. You caught a pike.
I caught a pike. Caught a thick pike.
Thick pike,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it was a rowdy.
Yeah.
Rocket, little missile.
I thought it was gonna be. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be a big bass.
Yeah.
Because it didn't do the little pike tug.
Yeah.
Pike tug, yeah.
There was no pike tug. It was just solid pull.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this is gonna be a big bass on a 10 weight.
Yeah.
And it was just like a thick pike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, does anyone have to go to the washroom? Yeah, so do I.
Bathroom
Okay, let's
break?
take a quick break.
All right, we'll
and then
be right
after this
back.
break, we'll be right back after
After-
these messages. Thank you. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Gills Fly Fishing International. Gills Fly Fishing International provides the destination fly fishermen with the best personalized trip planning and booking experiences possible. And they run FFI Magazine, an online fly fishing magazine with articles from your favorite fly fishing writers. The magazine is filled with tips, trips, and tightline stories to get you jacked for your next adventure out on the water. Visit flyfishinginternational.com to learn more. That's flyfishinginternational.com. And we're back.
How did everyone's pee break go?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
glad
did anyone
we
get any
were-
splash up?
Did anybody have any
No.
burning?
Splash up?
No,
No.
definitely
A
not.
little splash up.
Good.
A little splash
Yelma,
up?
you're good?
Huh?
Are you good?
Did you wash your hands?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You're good? You're
All
good.
right, what's going on?
Hungry.
So we
Yeah,
should get some pizzas.
Big surprise.
there's sausages too.
So I guess we can cook those up. We're gonna be hungry though.
We're gonna be
We
hungry.
should get
Sausage.
pizza. We should get pizza. We should get pizza.
So okay, let's get back
All right.
into this.
Here we go. Ready? One, two,
Enough
three,
talking
go.
about pizza because we're
Yeah.
gonna be getting
Yeah,
some pizza. But
We're not. It's not a pizza podcast.
what was I?
Although,
Oh, man, that's a great idea.
let's do a pizza.
so
podcast.
pizza?
So let's talk about
Honestly,
pizza.
this group of people could do a pizza podcast.
We could do a pizza.
We talked
podcast.
about pizza the whole first night, I think.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Neapolitan,
yeah.
Roman
PP.
style.
All right, we're gonna
Neapolitan,
pivot.
Chicago style.
Deep dish,
Yeah,
We got a pivot coming up
Big
here. I think.
Trouble,
yeah.
Pivot to pizza.
Acres. We were talking about Descendants.
Yeah.
We talked about all the pizza. Libretto.
Yeah. We need a pizza. We're currently
It'd be cool
accepting
if we could get
applications for a
libretto.
pizza sponsor.
If you haven't tried Pizzeria Libretto, you're
Would that be
missing
cool
out.
if they sponsored us? Libretto.
Shout out to
that'd be
Libretto
really cool.
Pizza.
I love libretto.
Why would
man.
they sponsor us? You know what I mean?
I mean, I'd take a sponsor from like Delicio.
I think they're freezing
Anchovies?
pizzas. During COVID, they had
Anchovies.
something where they were like making like frozen pizzas and
And
bringing them in. I'd bring a frozen pizza on a
That's
fishing
right.
trip for
Oh,
sure.
100%.
Yeah,
Oh
big
man,
time.
you could
Can you
shoot the
imagine if
shit
we
out
had
of
the
that.
fridge full of libretto,
Oh, fuck.
some arancini in there?
Dude, like that's exactly the
Make some
fishing trip I want to
Negronis.
go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that little place near our house, Canary Fox. Shout out Canary Fox.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Depeche?
Mode.
He carries frozen
Depeche.
pizzas.
Yeah. So it's Cheese Boutique.
So she's boutique. Yeah.
Piano or some brand.
Yeah, I
like
forget.
that.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know if it's
They're pretty
libretto. Yeah.
They kind of wood fire them first,
I think
but
I've
they
seen
don't
them.
cook them all the way. So
They're
Yeah,
vacuum
yeah.
sealed.
Little par
Yeah.
bake.
And then
I've
you-
seen them other places.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
bake
yeah.
you bake them, and they taste like you baked it, but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
also have a wood fired thing to it.
Yeah, they got a little char.
Dude,
They
for a
got
frozen
little
pizza
char.
you can bring on a fishing trip. Come on,
Forget
man.
about it, man. Like,
forget
come on.
about it.
So you're taking my two favorite things and combining them.
Yeah. Pizza
then-
and fishing.
Oh man,
it.
So flat.
That's it.
Pizza and fish.
oh man, we should have had a pizza party. I didn't even think about this.
Next time.
Actually, we're gonna have pizza tonight, but we could have had like a, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
Yeah.
like Neapolitan style.
Yeah,
pizza,
it's one
yeah.
from here,
Yeah.
one from here, one from here.
Yeah,
Bring them
no,
all up.
listen,
Yeah.
we gotta next time do pizza party.
Oh.
We still got to get our tattoos as well. Come on.
Pizza tattoos?
We're gonna get tattoos. Did you know about this, Nick?
No, I don't know.
No,
We're
this
gonna
is a-
get
I'm not involved with this. Nick.
what?
No, I'm not getting
It's your idea.
Yeah, you're getting a tattoo whether you like it or not. It's happening.
I want to get on one of these trips up north. I want to get a walleye tattoo.
A walleye tattoo.
Yeah.
Why walleye tattoo?
I love walleye, and they're so Northern Ontario.
They are so Northern Ontario.
And I love 'em.
What was the one you were gonna get? Was it like
Tell me about this tattoo though.
Mine was like a walleye. What was it? Eat
It
a
was-
piece of pizza
no? It was a walleye surf.
and a pizza dancing or something like that.
No, it was. I can't remember. We had so many.
There was
good
a
ones.
whole bunch of.
That doesn't sound like a
variations.
first tattoo.
Oh baby.
Like that's like a
No, it's
It was
gonna
a
be
full-
first.
full
I don't
back
have any
piece.
tattoos. It'll be a first, and it'll be a full back piece.
Oh wow.
Because there was
And
like,
above it, it'll just say "Live free or die."
You,
Yeah,
you've
it
made
was-
it public now, so like you're doing it.
I
There was-
swear to God, I'm doing this.
I thought it was supposed to, so it was supposed to be
doing
like a walleye surfing a
Yeah.
wave, and the wave is a pizza, and the
pizza.
surfboard is also a pizza. But then there was like a walleye
and the walleye
ballroom
says,
dancing
"Yeah,
with a piece of
With a
pizza.
cocktail.
With a cocktail.
yeah, a
Wearing a
martini
top hat.
and martini." No, I was gonna do a navy
it
grog
says,
and a
like-
walleye dancing.
It says like "Stay cool."
Yeah, no, it just says like
Yoma will design it for you.
he will. Yeah, he
Yeah,
will.
there's your job.
They should make contact transition lenses.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, I just thought of that.
see, that's
We're
why we
talking
keep
about
this guy
tattoo.
around because
Yeah.
he comes in with just the most random shit,
Yeah.
and it is brilliant. Can you imagine if you had transition contact lenses? How annoying that would
That would
be.
be so
That'd
annoying.
be
You'd be
amazing.
driving and you'd be like, "No, turn it up, turn it up."
It'd freak people out.
Good lord.
You can't just
Anyways.
take them off.
All right, well, there we go. Okay, so
Anyway, so we're gonna get tattoos.
we're gonna get tattoos. But
They're gonna
anyways,
be awesome.
pizza party, great idea. I love
Pizza
that.
party.
Yeah.
So, okay,
All right,
back to Brennan Harbour.
Here we go. Brennan
Back to
Harbour.
I want to know some things.
All right.
I want to know some. I have some questions.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
I want Yelma. Please don't press the sound.
Don't
board.
push
That's
his
the thing with
buttons. He
recording.
gets very
He's
rowdy.
getting out of control.
He's getting out of control.
He's only had one beer.
He's
No,
out of
that's-
control. He's
that's
pressing
not
the
right.
sound button. Okay, let's talk about Brennan Harbour Resort and the fishing here. And Nick, what What is it about this place that is special? Like why should people come to Brennan Harbour Resort?
So to me, like, I had no expectations.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, right? Like,
Yeah, sure.
I've stayed at some like Northern Ontario, like small camps and stuff before.
You've been to the north.
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Been and
yeah.
lived.
Nick was a paramedic at
north.
Attawapiskat for
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, more Fort Albany, but yeah.
More Fort Albany.
Yeah,
yes.
brief stints in
Of course,
Attawapiskat.
Northern Ontario.
Yeah. I mean, so like these towns are cool, man.
Yeah.
They're like little towns that a lot of people don't really like. I don't know, pay much attention to.
Appreciate, yeah.
If you're an angler or hunter, though, you probably know where most of these places are that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I think the nice thing about Brennan's really is that it's drive to.
Yeah.
You're not. The logistics are easy, man.
Very easy.
Yeah, you're just loading your car up and going, and so.
That's the best. I
Like
love
we're
that.
we're parked like 20 feet from the cabin.
You could put anything in your car.
Absolutely.
You could bring whatever you want.
You bring as many pizzas as you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, man, rates are reasonable.
Very reasonable.
You get here, the boats, I've kind of said it already, like, I couldn't believe that they just had like boats perfect for fly fishing, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know, and like we are in August, right? And I know people are still fishing trout in August, right? Like they do that and stress about water temperatures and can I go out for a few hours in the morning? But like, to be honest, forget that, man.
Just
like,
don't.
dude. It's August. There's other things to fish. You can go north on a weekend and have a good time with all your buddies.
Big time.
And we haven't pulled a thermometer out once, Mitch.
Dude, we haven't. You hit the nail on the friggin' head.
And this is
We've
something-
been fishing like
You
like
hit
10
the
hours a
nail-
day
you hit the nail on
and
the head, man.
had a blast, man.
Yeah.
Like we've all had a really good time. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like if you're a fly angler, there's like
It's easy fishing.
we're not
Easy
even that
living.
far. We're 5 hours from the city, man. And we came
Yeah.
up on a Friday and had a great time. And,
And
it's
it's
Sunday
also
now.
so fun because it's like a trip. It's like a mini
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I
it's
mean?
a
Where
mini
you're
trip.
Like,
Yeah.
you're
Totally.
like, oh, we're not super far from the city, but it's like we're
Yeah.
dedicating
Yeah.
a solid 3 days.
So
you know what
this
I
is
mean?
this is interesting because this is something that you and I have talked about in the past. I'm looking at Mitch when I said you and I about with fly fishing specifically about getting excited for changing seasons. Where
Yes.
you know, like, right now we're super psyched for steelhead,
Oh yeah.
and we're gonna be steelhead bums.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna grow our hair.
I'm
more.
not cutting my hair
More.
yet.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's
Adis
like-
has a man bun right now. He needs a haircut. So
Oh,
so
it's-
okay. Here's another thing I want to touch on.
Yeah.
I fully reject the term man bun. It's just a bun.
Yeah.
Just a bun.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
sorry.
a hair
I'm
bun.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm not actually
Yeah.
offended.
It's a man bun. I'm with him.
So.
It looks good, man, and I don't think
Oh,
we should
thanks.
cut
Yeah.
that thing.
No, I'm not gonna cut it.
We're gonna grow our hair. We're gonna grow our beards.
Winter's almost here, so we're seasonal fishing.
Yeah, man.
Very excited about steelheading.
So-
Okay, steelheading's
yeah.
done. Excited for browns. Excited for rainbows. Excited for brookies.
Yeah.
That gets done. We're gonna go pike. We're gonna go walleye. We're gonna go smallies. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, of
You're
course,
right.
we're very fortunate. We get to fish these exciting places and do these things, but you also get to appreciate these changing
Yeah.
seasons and how to fish through the entire year.
It changes your lifestyle.
Yeah, like,
Like
you don't.
you live differently.
Yeah, you don't want to be
Appreciate
chasing
it.
brown like 20-inch browns in August.
You just think about life differently when it's
Yeah.
like now I'm fishing brown trout.
Yeah.
Your life is kind of like the way you think. I don't know about you guys, but like when it's like it's trout season, I'm just a different guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's steelhead season. I'm thinking
Oh,
differently.
yeah. You're much hairier.
Bass, yeah, very much hair. Bass season, it's like, yeah, now it's the easy living. It's summertime. Like, I think this. You're right. Like you hit the nail on the head, Nick, saying like, why go do something that's complicated and dangerous for the fish?
Yeah, exactly.
You're
got something
fishing during
better.
the threshold of that species
Yeah,
survival, right?
sure.
So like
Yeah.
you know what? It's like right on the cusp
Do
of
you
like
need
should
to?
you or
What-
shouldn't you, right?
Do you need to?
But like I love doing things in prime season.
Well,
yeah,
that's it.
Guess what,
exactly,
man.
Yeah.
we don't. If it was the only option, but like we've got a kick ass option.
Dude, the
Yeah.
amount of options
do
is
it.
insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
it's
Like, we're again. I'm saying again, but like
Yeah.
we're not that far from the city. And
Yeah.
man, Adis, like, dude, you've only been I think fly fishing a year and a half or 2 years or something
Yeah.
like
No,
that.
it's like a year and like a month or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
Really?
Your
Is that hit
perspective,
too?
your
Oh
perspective
my
is like
God.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's
No, but that's the thing with the seasons.
Yeah, that's it.
We talk about this like
And
crazy.
so,
Yeah.
and so this is the other thing with like you were saying, like people watching temps and stuff. It's like in my personal opinion, like I fished the credit a lot this year, and like I don't want to catch a big brown trout. I don't want to trick it into getting caught. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's down, hanging out in the shade,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna coax it up. You know what I mean? I want to catch it if it's aggro, it's ready to eat.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna get buck wild, and it's like, yeah, then I'm gonna catch it.
Yeah.
But if it's like if you gotta coax it out from somewhere, and it's like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
not-
sitting on a spring
But
just
I'll
trying to
tell you,
survive.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring it
Yeah.
up to the surface.
The
You
season,
know what I mean?
the season
I hear
thing
ya.
is cool. We don't have spring fall, summer,
Yeah.
winter.
And
We've got trout, and then bass, smallmouth, largemouth, and then steelhead.
Yeah.
And then we've got steelhead. And then we
basically got steelhead for like until it freezes.
But
Yeah.
and then if we want, which we're gonna try this year one more time, we gotta give it another try, ice
Yeah.
fishing, and we'll do perch.
Yeah, we're gonna try
and
hard, man.
whitefish
Yeah,
and
yeah.
walleye,
Perch and whitefish,
and then it comes back around to trout, and it's
Yeah.
like we've got the seasons of
Oh.
our lives revolve around
Yeah,
fishing.
and like remember
Yeah.
like how
think that's
excited we all
important.
were
Wow, that's
for
really poetic. Sorry to interrupt.
no, I think it's cool.
it is, and we remember leading up to trout opener, we were so jacked.
Oh yeah.
Like after a hard winter steelheading,
Mm-hmm.
swinging through river. I mean, like we probably stopped swinging, but
It makes your
I'm not
life.
gonna stop swinging.
But why not get that jacked about trout opener? Why not get that jacked
About-
about
Oh,
bass
totally.
opener,
Oh,
dude?
and I
We-
100%.
You guys do. I know you
we
do.
get that jacked about
I know you
bass
do.
I was
opener.
like, I was telling my daughter, I was like, on bass opener, I was like, all right, we can go down to the Humber. We're gonna fish some
because
bass.
bass opener means 20 degrees.
Yeah.
And bush.
Your shorts,
Yeah.
your
Kicking
wet wading.
around, you're
Yeah.
wet. Like it's just
Well,
better.
no,
life,
bass
man.
opener means your cottage.
Yeah.
And that's true. We hit the cottage, but it
Largemouth.
also
You
means,
don't need a cottage to fish bass.
It also means Brennan Harbor.
No, but it reminds me of Mitch's
Yeah.
Yeah,
pond.
sure.
Yeah, and so like kind of what I was even just about to say is
Yeah.
that like the other piece of it is that like if you think bass are like I get it, not a
Yeah.
difficult fish to catch or whatever,
Oh.
like dude,
Oh man.
talking with our guide, like the amount of detail that he is getting into it sounds exactly like talking to like those hardcore
Yeah.
guys about you got to fish this stage of the emerger and this surface
yeah.
foam and
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
about to catch these fish. Like for like trout fishing,
Yeah.
you can get into that level with smallmouth.
Oh,
And
sure.
he's obsessed with smallmouth, right? And like it's similar to like a musky guy, like
Yeah.
moon phases and everything with that, right?
Yeah, and you can catch smallmouth in rivers, lakes. Like you don't need a boat.
Yeah.
Nope.
There's you can
Honestly,
catch
man.
smallies in the Humber in downtown Toronto.
Massive fish
Yeah.
are in those Lake
Thick-
Ontario
thick
tributaries.
boys.
If the fun for me was smallmouth fishing, because I get smallmouth, I get it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have fun with it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll do it all the time. But I get more excited about other stuff.
Sure.
But when I get excited about smallmouth, it's when I know I have a shot at a big smallmouth.
Oh yeah.
Because a big smallmouth is
like
exciting
here.
for all
Yeah.
the reasons we're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
And big smallmouth do live in many places.
Yeah, and man,
I've got them in the Grand.
you can catch them so many different ways, and they're very
much so.
fly rod friendly.
Oh yeah.
Very
Big time.
fly rod
Big
fly.
time.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, for those who know, you know. But I think that you hit the nail on the head, man. Like
And like
this is
catching,
the thing
catching
to do.
pike's still fun.
This catching pike is still fun.
It's one of my faves.
Catching pike is very fun.
Yeah.
I think you're saying little missiles. Catching
Little missiles.
Catching little missiles is fun.
Is, yeah.
Well, we
it's
didn't
fun.
just catch
We
little
didn't.
missiles,
No, no,
man.
we
Like
got
the
some
first
big
pike,
pike.
the first pike I got was like over 30
30.
inches.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a big
decent
pike.
fish.
Really
That was a
good point.
decent pike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, dude, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
We weren't really catching little missiles the whole
No,
time.
I think we caught like one or two.
We caught one or two. Everything
Yeah.
else was like a pretty nice pike.
I think we got spoiled by our Tarmanasnagami.
We're spoiled by the Sangami. We're spoiled by the Awabascat. You know,
Yeah.
you know, you're spoiled by the Nipigon. There's 40 plus
Yeah.
inch pike out there. But this place is special for the smallies. The smallies fishing here is wicked. So if you want to go and do a wicked summertime, and you're right, summertime's the time to go for bass.
For sure.
Do a weekend up here at Brennan
Yep.
Harbor because there's so much water to explore, and the bass, there's big bass.
It's really like it's a good
They're there.
place. It's
Can you catch them?
Yeah, well, that's
It's up to you, man.
That sounds like that's a you problem.
That's a you problem.
yeah, like this is like
That's
it's
a you
not it's
problem.
not far
No.
from Toronto if that's where you live.
Yeah.
It's like central Ontario. Come on.
Yeah.
There's nice boats.
Oh yeah.
There's a ton
Great
of
people.
great people.
Yeah,
Tons
yeah,
of places to fish.
Yeah.
Like we said, like you can fish next to like
Yeah.
if you're not comfortable boating in big water, no problem. Go fish next to the lodge.
I'm telling you guys, we're looking
Easy.
at these reasons.
That's tonight's plan.
Yeah,
Yeah, man,
comfy
that's a nice
beds,
plan. Yeah.
little barbecue. There's puppies running around.
Yeah, baby.
There's little baby chicks.
You got to come check it out. Check out Brennan Harbor Resort.
Oh, geez, come
and I
on.
will say thank you very much for having us up here.
Yeah, big
Yeah,
time.
man. Thank you so
Big
much.
time.
We very much appreciate it, Brennan Harbor. We love you. You're awesome. And unlike anywhere we've ever fished before
Yeah.
and stayed.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very, rocky.
The rockiness
rocky.
is pretty
cool.
nice.
It's
yeah.
cool.
Oh, it's
That's beautiful.
yeah. It really
is-
is.
this
It
is
really
beautiful.
is.
It feels
Yeah.
coastal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
it's
name
totally
is
coastal,
proper,
yeah.
like Brennan Harbor.
Harbor.
It sounds like an East Coast community.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
lighthouse.
big time.
There's like a lighthouse over
It
there.
feels
Like, it's-
it feels Scottish. It feels
Yeah.
British. I think these people are all,
Yeah.
the owner's British and Scott's Scottish. And I was like, yeah, I kind of feel like we're like in,
Yeah.
Where did we go?
Across the pond.
Where are
yeah.
we here?
Wormhole.
a little bit of a
Brennan
it's a little
Harbor.
bit of a
It's a
portal.
wormhole.
It's a
Yeah.
little wormhole, yeah. But anyways, thank you guys. Thank you so much for having us up here. We appreciate it very much. And everybody listening, you should check this place out.
Yeah, man.
It's, have it on your radar. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, it's very accessible.
Very accessible, very cool. And everybody at home, thanks for listening.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think that's the show.
that's it. We did a show.
That's the show.
Here we are.
And
Guys, thanks for having me, man. Honestly,
come
this is
on,
the highlight of my summer.
oh,
you go.
come on, baby.
Oh, come on, baby, now.
It
We
is.
had so much.
Oh,
we had so
baby.
much fun.
Oh,
having
It was
you.
a riot.
I'm glad you
baby.
said you were down. Like we're like, it's fun to bring something. You know how fucking tired.
You think
I
you
get
would
of
have
these
said
two
no?
guys? Good lord.
Yeah, exactly. Like you think I'd say no? Like, dude, I was ready to like move some mountains to make. This thing. Like,
This is fun
We'll
as
do it
shit.
again. We'll do it again soon. But everybody at home, thank you so much for listening. That's it for me, Mitch. Yelma,
Bye.
Idis,
TT Wild, JK, LOL.
Nick.
Oh my god.
later, guys.
Thanks for listening. Take care. You can find all of our content at sofly.ca. Reach out via email by sending your questions or comments to info@sofly.ca. Find us on Instagram @the SoFly Crew. Thanks for listening.